You're watching a special presentation of Friday Night Rivals. It's the 84th annual Lions Club Dream Game on MyTV WQMY.
Welcome to John Hens's Veterans Memorial Stadium in Peckville, Lackawanna County. It's the 84th annual Lions Club Dream Game. Good evening, everyone. I'm Bob Ide. Joining me in the booth tonight, two faces very familiar with football in northeastern Pennsylvania, Hall of Fame coach and tonight's Man of the Year for the Lions Club, Stan Kuharsky, and his son, Chris Kuharsky from NEPAfootball.com. Stan, first to you. Let's look at the last 5 meetings from the Dream Game. We see the city has won 3 of the last 5. In fact, they've won 7 of the last 10. On paper tonight, Coach, city looks like they have a better team.
Well, paper doesn't mean anything. The 60 minutes that's going to be played out here are going to tell the difference. But the city's loaded. They have a seasoned quarterback, Robbie McAndrew. Their offensive line is enormous, anchored by 3 kids from Dunmore that had great seasons. They're Hookey Reap Award winners. So if they execute, if they do what they're capable of doing, it should be an interesting outcome for them.
One player who's very happy to be here is our spotlight player. He's West Scranton's Andre Chalette.
He's a remarkable young man. He has not, in the 4 years that he's played at West Scranton, he has not had a complete season. Ironically, his freshman year, he had 727 yards. His senior year, he had 797 yards. And in between, he had a torn meniscus, he had an ACL, he had an ankle injury. A lot of credit to the character of this young man, his ability to be able to come back from those injuries and be a very productive football player.
Let's turn to Chris now, talking about the county. There's 5 or 6 Delaware Valley players on this team. We know what kind of team they've had over the last 4 years. But you chose to talk about Dylan Kelly. Why?
Yeah, Dylan Kelly's an amazing player, especially coming from Delaware Valley, a very successful program under Keith Olmsummer. And the unique thing about Dylan, he's been a starter since he's a freshman. Most kids at Delaware Valley don't play till they're seniors because of the amount of kids that they have in the program and the success they've had. Dylan, especially on the defensive side of the ball, he's an all-state player. He's been a standout since his freshman year. He's just an exciting player, smart player, really good kid according to the coaching staff of the county. So he leads that Delaware Valley contingent, and it's well-deserved because he's been one of their leaders for years now.
Getting us inside access on the sidelines are Paul Grippy and Emma Henses. They're standing by with both coaches now. First, Paul.
Thanks, Bob. I have the head coach of the city team right here, Mark Watson. In the regular season, he coaches Wallenpaupack, but tonight, the City All-Stars coach, and I'm seeing your team over here. They really seem to have a lot of enthusiasm. Was it like that in the practice and the preparations? How do you feel about them heading into this game?
Great kids. I mean, I actually had them over my house one night for a barbecue, and the kids really came together. There was no separation just because they were from different teams. Just great camaraderie, and we're excited to play football tonight.
Nothing better than mid-July football. Now, you have a situation here at quarterback. Only one quarterback dressed for tonight's game. That's Robbie McAndrew from Scranton. I can think of ways that that's a good thing and a bad thing. So how do you see it preparing?
I think it's a great thing. I mean, first of all, he's a great quarterback. He can run the ball. He's got a cannon for an arm. You know, obviously, he can't get hurt because when we'd be in a little bit of trouble. But, you know, he's a great kid, and he got all the reps, so he should be ready to roll.
Okay, Coach, thanks for joining us. Good luck coaching the City All-Stars, which will be the team in white. Over on the other sideline, the County All-Stars, and that'll be Emma Henses getting us through the night. Emma?
I'm here with Valley View head coach and county coach George Hawanitz. And it's one thing to be selected as a dream game coach, but it's another thing to be able to play on your home field. Tell me what that's like.
Well, I think it'll be nice for our kids. We have 5 kids playing here from Valley View, and some of them are going on to play college after this, but 3 of them aren't. So I think it's a great way for them to go out. We had a great season here, played some playoff games here, won a district championship. So hopefully, you know, everything they've done over the last 4 and 5 years here will all come to a nice highlight reel for them today.
Now, obviously, preparing for this game is a little bit different than preparing for a regular game. What was practice like this week?
Fun. We had a great time during the week, and everybody was here all week and did a great job of, you know, putting the time in. I think they did some even some extra work, learning our formations and things like that. And, you know, the hour and a half practices went fast, and hopefully, like we said, it'll come to fruition tonight with a nice victory for them.
All right, well, Coach Hawanitz, good luck to you and good luck to your boys in red.
Thank you very much.
Back to you, Bob.
Thank you, Emma. Beautiful night for high school football. Will it remain that way? Let's head over now to Mike Linden from the Fox 56 News, first at 10.
What a difference 24 hours makes. Not dealing with any rain or any strong wind. Instead, much cooler and much calmer. Temperatures falling into the lower 50s overnight tonight under mostly clear skies. The possibility for some patchy fog developing overnight, so be careful on the drive home from the game. Otherwise, I hope you brought your light jacket because, Bob, temperatures falling near the upper 40s this evening. That's certainly not feeling very summer-like.
Mike, it's a perfect night for high school football. On the way at the 84th Annual Lions Club Dream Game, it's the opening kick and the starting lineups.
You're watching a special presentation of Friday Night Rivals. It's the 84th Annual Lions Club Dream Game on MyTV WQMY.
We are ready for the kick. Both teams on the field. County won the toss. They will receive. It is Ryan Abisso and Dylan Kelly from Delaware Valley who are deep. Zach Muldacker from Wallenpaupack gets this game underway. Kelly from his 8. County will have the ball at the 29-yard line. Starting at quarterback, Nick Riley from Delaware Valley had a nice career there, 1,600 yards last season.
Obviously, Delaware Valley is kind of known as quarterback high school. And they produced some great ones over the year, including Brian Shore, who was winning national championships down at James Madison.
Watch a little play action this first down.
Single back to start for the County. Coach called it, play action. They go down the field to Kelly. No flags. The big crowd here didn't like that on this sidelines.
Ball was a little high.
Ahmad McKnight was the guy downfield.
All things considered, that was pretty good coverage on a crossing pattern from Kelly, who lined up as a tight end.
Might have grabbed him a little bit early there, but like you said, Bob, that ball was overthrown. I don't think Kelly gets to it anyway. Officials probably going to let them play here tonight.
We'll get to the officials a little bit later on. So, I formation on second down. Hand off to Abisso. Up to the 35. Let's check out the starters now for the County team. We mentioned Riley as the quarterback. Abisso had the ball. And Bo Fryermuth from Honesdale is the fullback. The receivers, they look like this. Cipatelli from Riverside Walk and Selfies from Western Wayne. A couple Wildcats in there. And up front, they're going to have their hands full tonight. It's Rose, Hopkins, Larson, Boyd, and Biesecker. Third down on the way. Call it about 4. Abisso gets the first down for the County up past the 45-yard line.
Nice kick out block by Bo Fryermuth on that. The Honesdale Hornet kind of sealed the corner there. And Abisso's a great story, Bob, because last year he kind of had to step in with an injury and ended up being an all-league player. You see here the lead there by Fryermuth, and that gets the first down for the County.
So Riley will be in the shotgun this time for wideouts. County picks up the first down of this dream game. Big rush, big hit put on Riley. Down and out of the hands of Kelly, but great defense shooting in. Chris was?
Brett Butler from North Pocono. No, that was it was Nassim Fuller from Scranton.
Here's the city defense up front. Hoffman, Jones, Shoemaker, and Fuller. I think Fuller was on the play, number 17 there. Linebackers, Butler. Watch out for Jake Jones. Has got a big engine there. And Joe Ianni from North Pocono. In the secondary, it will be Dixon, McAllister, McKnight, and Kowalski.
Coach, no surprise they're trying to do the DV tandem there in the first 2 passes of the game.
What's interesting is a little bit of the rules for this game. You have to pass so many different times, and you have to play straight man-to-man in the secondary.
Abisso with the carry again. Again, the Delaware Valley kids, obviously Keith Olsummer's offense up there, always high-powered, both in the running game and the passing game. We're seeing the Warriors spotlighted here a little bit early.
Abisso headed to Robert Morris. Favorite NFL team, the New York Jets. Maybe they could use them. Of course, Ryan did play lacrosse at Delaware Valley. They won the district title. Seth Vernon now dotting the I for the county. Gets a nice seal block and has room. Vernon up inside city territory to the 33.
All Vernon needs is a little bit of an edge and uses that speed to his great effect.
Yeah, Obiso and Vernon, very different type runners. Obiso's more of an in-between tackle type kid, tough, straightforward, and the speed of Vernon, again, once he gets into the open field, very hard to catch.
He had a good track season this year. Riley back to the shotgun. Gonna look to the right. Hits one of his favorite targets. That's Kelly. About a yard short of a first down of 25.
County has a nice drive here, a little balance between throwing the ball and running to the tailback.
So far, the front of the county's kind of held up. We mentioned in the pregame show, maybe on paper, the city a little bit bigger, maybe a little more of a reputation with the kids, but right now, great job up front by the county.
Yeah, when you have a Nick Shoemaker in there, all defensive type state player, doing a good job at number 65 from Dunmore. To the air one more time. Kelly has room if he wants to take it. He does. He picks up the first down. So a little room for Riley.
Now, the rules here, you cannot blitz. Is that correct?
Correct.
Which makes it a little bit easier for the offensive line.
Yeah, you really have to beat your guy one-on-one.
Right, exactly.
And we saw Fuller do that earlier. He got in there and got a good hit on Riley, but again, it's harder for the defense in this type of format.
You have to play man-to-man, no blitzing. Very offensive-oriented rules, and hopefully that goes down to the field. Play action. Riley to the end zone. There's a flag, and that will be defensive interference. That looks like 22 down there, or was that Kowalski?
That was Kowalski.
23. Kowalski from North Pocono.
I think they were trying to get the Luke Selfies.
Yeah, they were.
The Wildcat. Yeah, a little size advantage there for Selfies, obviously. He's 6'3", and I think what happened was, you know, the defender's trying to get some position, but he grabbed his shirt and kind of pulled him back a little bit. I think the official saw that, so.
Pass interference, defense. Result of the play is half the distance to the goal and a first down.
David Brzezinski getting the honor tonight of reffing the game. So that will set up a first down just past the 10-yard line for the county, putting a nice drive together.
Yeah, if you're Coach Awanitz, this is what you wanted to see, kind of establish yourself early in this game, especially if maybe you're considered the underdog. So far, so good for this county squad.
Mozaleski, the third tailback. No flags, big hit, touchdown county. 66 yards. Take a break after the extra point.
Brendan Mozaleski knows how to finish a run. He was near the goal line, saw one defender manage just to drop his hips and just run through the tackler to score the touchdown.
And again, watch his fullback, Fryermuth, again, get a big block downfield, kind of getting the one player on the city defense that had an angle at him, Coach, and you take care of that player, then it's Mozaleski with some free space there. And like you said, he knows how to find the end zone. He did a lot for the Blue Devils during his career.
The defensive ends of the city are going to have to maintain their leverage. That's 2 or 3 times now they've been lost in space, and they're getting blocked in part and just can't contain the runners.
2-point conversion try, not really a kicker, and they find Kelly on a little slant. Oh, that's number 7.
Jake
Secor, another Delaware Valley.
That's a little shake pattern that Coach Awanitz learned from somebody that was one of his assistants.
Who would that be?
I can't tell you. It's a secret.
So a nice drive put together from the county. Mozaleski, 27 touchdowns, and we'll take a timeout on the field. 8-0 county. So we are back in the 84th Annual Lions Club Dream Game. Nice drive put together from the County. They take an 8-0 lead, and nice kickoff. Good return from Andre Chalette. Good field position for the City up near midfield. But first, let's head down to Emma. And she's got, I think, Nick Riley from Delaware Valley. Emma?
I'm here with Nick Riley from Del Val. Can you walk me through, what does it feel like to play for the, at the Dream?
It's a good feeling. A lot of energy, a lot of excitement. It's fun to play in front of all these people.
What about scoring the first touchdown?
That's always a good feeling. Scoring the first touchdown, everybody cheering, you can't beat that.
Do you have plans for next fall?
I'm going to play football at King's College.
All right, well, awesome. Good luck with that. Thank you. Back to you, Bob.
Of course, Kings, thank you, Emma. Kings losing their quarterback. He's moved on, so maybe he'll step right into the role. So this is Robbie McAndrew, only quarterback on the Scranton team. They're going to try to counter quick, and it looks like they do. Touchdown City, 49 yards. Tyler Holbert from Wallenpaupack hauls it in. This be a shootout, boys?
Yeah, I think it will be. They're going to put the ball up in the air. Holbert just runs a post route, and Robbie McAndrew puts the ball right on the money.
Again, with the man-to-man defense, it's beat your man. I mean, there was no safety back there, and good job by Holbert. Just a well-run route. Got himself an open, and give credit to Robbie McAndrew too.
It's rare to be able to find really good cover corners in high school. If you can get one or two, you're lucky. But in this game, with wide open 2x2 sets, you've got to have four corners that can play those receivers, and that's a difficult task and challenge.
Couple touchdowns, and we're 8-7 to score. County over the City, and we talked about the rules, guys. So let's go some of the bigger rules. The biggest one is if you're trailing, there's an opportunity for you to come back.
Yeah, again, if you're down by 9 points or more, and you score a touchdown, you get the kickoff then, right? I mean, it makes sense. I mean, this is an exhibition. Yeah, the kids are out there to win and stuff, but you want to keep the game competitive. So it gives a team that gets down a chance to come back. It's a good rule. A lot of all-star teams or games use that rule. It's a good one.
And there are some guys up top, we'll tell you that are monitoring the game if there's any rules broken. So Paul Grippy now on the sideline with the guy who just caught that touchdown pass, Paul.
Well, Bob, I have the happiest guy in the stadium, West Scranton's Ty Holbert, playing for the Paupack, playing for the City team over here. What was the play call in the huddle, and how did it break for you?
Four seams, so I call it hurricane, and our motion guy came across, and it left me wide open.
Yeah. How'd that feel to get that touchdown? That tied it up after that opening drive by the County.
I mean, first play, we're trying to go big. Worked out.
All right, Ty, good touchdown, good catch. We'll talk to you more again later. That's Ty Holbert from Wallenpaupack, touchdown guy for the City. Bob?
Thank you, Paul. Ty headed to Moravian, and he likes the best team now on earth. That's the Philadelphia Super Bowl champions.
All of a sudden, right?
I haven't in a while.
From the City real quick there, Coach, was two big plays. The kickoff return by Chalette and then the touchdown reception by Holbert. So maybe that's going to be the theme for the City here tonight with big plays.
This game is designed to really keep the fans on the edge of their seats. The rules are designed to allow these kids to showcase their abilities. It's an exhibition, as you said. Nobody wants to see a 14-8 game. They want to see touchdowns. It's like baseball. They want to see home runs.
8:14 remaining in this opening quarter. 15 points already up on the board. Riley back out from Delaware Valley. Mentioned he's headed to Kings. He'll set up in the shotgun. Vernon from Valley View. Sidecar with him. 4 wideouts in. And a stop and go, but instead it'll go over to Kelly. Makes a diving catch up past the 45.
That's what good athletes do. That ball is put up for grabs. Kelly just wanted it a little bit more than the coverage man. You see here, he goes up, high points the ball.
That's a good job by Nick Riley, too. They got some outside pressure from the rush and kind of just stepped up in the pocket, was patient until Kelly broke loose from the coverage. And threw a pretty good pass where the only person who was going to catch that was probably Dylan Kelly.
The one thing that I think that we're going to have to look for is which defensive line is going to be able to pressure their quarterback. Because when they go to those sets, the 2-by-2, it's tough to cover.
They go back into the eye.
It's a little bit of a blast play to the open side.
Karen Barnes from Honesdale headed to Wilkes, play football, and took that handoff up to midfield.
Coach, you coached this game in 1978, correct?
Woo. Yeah, it was a year after the Civil War ended, I believe.
I don't know how many 4-receiver sets you had back then.
No, I don't think we had any.
It's really different.
2 tight ends, 3 backs, and cloud of dust.
Yeah, it's amazing the evolution of the game. I mean, you see it trickle down from college now to the high school level. I mean, everybody's in the shotgun. We've seen some eye here, which is good to see from the county.
Give it to Kelly on a sweep. Good job by the defense out there to make that stop. Butler, Kowalski over there, I should say. And also
good pursuit on the part
Owen
of the
Hivner.
city.
Yep, Owen Hivner over there, coach.
Owen Hivner's an interesting player. Went from the Abington Heights football team to Lackawanna Trail and had a really good year for them.
He did 143 tackles, coach. That's a pretty good year.
That's pretty good.
On a small school like Lackawanna Trail, who's really brought their program back, Chris, and
Coach
in contention now.
Yeah, Coach Jervis has done a great job. In fact, he's a couple booths down from us. He's one of the rule interpreters today. And I think Valley View staff is going to take a timeout here.
I think they're short a man.
Saw Coach Hawanitz talking to...
Or 2 men, 3, 6. They only had 9 guys on the field.
That's tough.
Well, both coaches did face each other. You talk about your dad coaching 1978. Well, these two coaches went at it, Watson and Hawanitz, in 2008. And it was Watson who pulled out a close victory in that. 14, I believe it was 14-8, something like that. So these two teams.
I'm wondering whether the rules, I don't know if the rules were changed by then.
I don't think they were.
I don't think they were either.
That's kind of ironic, too, because those two head coaches will face each other on this field on August 24th in the season opener for the Buckhorns and the Cougars. So little sneak preview here of the two head coaches, and I don't think they're giving anything away today, though, Coach.
No. There is Mark Watson, 13th season coming up with Wallenpaupack. Of course, Stan Kaharski, the longtime coach up there with the Buckhorns.
Mark played for me as a senior and was my freshman coach for quite a number of years and has done a nice job the last 12 years. And, of course, George Hawanitz coached with me for 5 years as well, and I coached with him for 6 years here at Valley View. So I've got a stake in this game one way or the other.
You do. You're buying steak after? Is that what you said?
No.
Oh, okay. So after Coach Hawanitz called his first time out of the half, County comes back on. Into the I formation. Riley again underneath center. Abisso cuts up, picks up about 9, and a first down.
Interesting play call in the 3rd and long, Coach. They stick to their guns here, and the offensive line's been playing well. And Obiso knows how to find the chains. That's why he was in the game. And again, gets a block from Fryermuth again to kind of seal the corner. And the County has had 2 good drives now here in this first quarter.
Running backs that can stick their foot in the ground and bounce the play outside are usually going to be very effective.
When I went to practice last week, I thought County was a little bit ahead of their practice, that everybody here, City, a couple kids couldn't make the practices, and maybe it's paying off a little bit. What a catch! DK, Dylan Kelly, first and goal, County.
The catch, Bob, was really very good, but what was even more impressive was the adjustment that he made right near the end of the route. If you watch this in the replay, you couldn't really see it there, but he made a slight adjustment to put himself in position to catch that ball over his shoulders.
That's 2 catches for him now, kind of acrobatic. And poor Sam Dixon from Scranton Preps had good coverage on both those plays. Kelly went up and made the play, and again, I think some familiarity here with the quarterback and the receiver, Coach, is definitely helping the County.
43-yard gain. Vernon loses the ball, goes out of bounds. just short of the goal line.
That's a break, too.
Yeah, that would have been a touchback, correct?
Right, yeah, if it goes on the other side of the pylon, it is a touchback.
We had a camera right there. Maybe we could get that replay. But, oh, on cue, boys, on cue.
Good tackle, whoever that was. I couldn't see the number there. Went right and punched the ball out.
Kowalski, 23.
I think it might have been Joayani, the linebacker, who got over there. But a break for the County as they will maintain possession.
Second and goal from the half-yard line.
Mozaleski is at tailback.
Does he get two? Oh, he does not. The ball's on the turf. Recovered by the City. That's big number 99, Jake Hoffman from West Scranton, coming up with a loose pigskin.
Well, we have our first big defensive play of the game. You watch this. Riley trips. Mozaleski runs into, I think, his own man. And the ball just pops out, and right there's big Jake Hoffman to recover. So a big goal line stand for the City.
See if we're going to see a 99-yard touchdown pass here.
You have to, if the City sticks to the script, that's what they've been doing. Yeah, you can see.
Yeah, there was not a good mesh there.
Yeah, Riley tripped over the fullback, Fryermuth. And that's timing there, Coach. I mean, you're only if it's 4 or 5 practices.
Right.
So they're going to get a timeout here. We're actually going to, I think Coach Watson wants to make sure everything's right down at that 1-yard line. Don't want to make a mistake down there.
So with 5:26 left, City calls timeout. Gives us an opportunity to introduce who was on the field to start the game. Robbie McAndrew, the only quarterback out there for the City. Get a lot of action. Muldacker from Wallenpaupack, and we saw some of Gillette from West Scranton. Your receivers from Holy Cross, Dom Pasanza, Craig Cotrodrilli from Scranton Prep, and Ty Holbert, who has the touchdown already for the City. Up front, they're big. They're huge. Average, 6'2", 280, 270. A Farrell, Rossi, Longo, Cahut, and Morocco.
Look at the 5 kids there. They're from 2 schools, Scranton Prep, Dunmore, who both had undefeated seasons last year. That tells you a lot how important the offensive line is.
A sweaty, wet number 99 is with Paul Gripping.
Okay, Bob, I have Jake Hoffman here. Tell me about that last play. How did that ball roll to you? What happened on the field?
Well, it's a great feeling giving your offense the ball back in a dire situation like that. Felt really good, and hopefully we can get a touchdown now.
Honestly, standing on this sideline, I have to say your team has a lot of enthusiasm. Would I be right, and was it like that in practice?
Oh, of course, all week long. Guys were just getting on us, give us full effort, and it's been a great time. I love every guy on this team, like brothers.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how hard's the hitting out there?
Woo! I say 9, 10 right now. It's only first quarter, so we'll see how that goes.
All right, Jake Hoffman, fumble recovery. That's like a touchdown for a defensive guy. Thanks a lot. Enjoy the game. Bob?
Thanks, Jake, and, of course, Paul Grippy. That's a huge play for the City. County was going to go in, extend their lead. Instead, they pull it back out, run a play. They'll run another play. They're going to go to the air. Big rush. Picked off. Intercepted, and in for the touchdown is Chase Overholzer from Abington Heights.
A lot of things happening on that play, Coach. First of all, they go with a full house backfield.
Yeah, there's a power eye.
Yeah, and play action. And the pressure on McAndrew, he did a good job to avoid it, but I think he panicked a little bit. He was just trying to get the ball downfield and overthrew his receiver. Didn't set his feet.
Yeah, you don't want quarterbacks to make mistakes like that. They're better off just throwing the ball up into the stands than just throwing it.
Again, the pressure there, though, I think, again, Robbie was just trying to make a play after getting out of the way, and just, again, ball sailed on him. And Overholzer right in the right place, right time, and then a good return to get the 6 for the County.
Well, Overholzer likes to do a lot of fishing. He reeled that one in pretty quickly. Picked up a 20-yard touchdown. County does get on the board. And of course, they'll go for 2. Don't really have a place kicker on the roster. So Riley back in. He's got Mozaleski in the flat and just short-armed it. So it's a 7-point lead, 4:35 remaining in this first quarter. So first you have the defensive play, Coach, then you come up with the interception. Back and forth they're going.
Entertaining, that's what this game is about, and it's been entertaining through this first quarter.
Emma has the guy that picked the ball off. Emma?
I'm here with Chase Overhoser from Abington Heights, and you just had a pick six. And tell me, what did the boys just give you?
This is the turnover chain, so whoever gets a turnover, whether it be a pick or a fumble recovery, gets this. So I'm pretty excited.
It seems like everyone's fired up.
Yeah.
How are you feeling?
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Yeah, baby. Woo!
Awesome. Well, thanks. Back to you, Bob.
I didn't know there was such a thing tonight. Did you?
No.
I think this tells how serious these boys take this game, because you would think, hey, it's an all-star game. I'm going to college in a couple weeks.
It's a
Both
great.
teams want to win.
It's a great honor for these kids to play in this game. If you read the papers all this week, Joby Fawcett's columns, every kid said, it was an honor. He couldn't wait to represent his high school and meet these guys that are now his teammates, who used to be their competitors. So it's certainly played with a great deal of gusto and enthusiasm and energy.
I think too, a lot of these kids are legacies, and learned from either parents or uncles that played in the game. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, Bob. This is the longest consecutive running all-star game in the country, I believe.
It is.
High school, and I mean that's pretty impressive. So if you get a chance to play in this game, honor is the best word to describe it.
Fryermuth tees it up. Short kick. Merrifield, what about his 18? That was Ahmad McKnight from West Scranton who pulled it up. And the city back on the field, just about the 35-yard line.
One of the things that the Lions Club did, Bob, that I think has enhanced the game is that they've moved it back into July. Traditionally, it's been played that first week in August, and these kids are moving off someplace. They all have jobs. It's difficult. A lot of kids that were selected wouldn't play because it was so close to their moving on to college. So it was a good move on the part of the Lions Club.
So if you're McAndrew, you got to forget that pass, right, Chris?
Definitely. They're going to go right back to the ground now.
Yeah. Give it to his teammate, Reese Green. Good run, tough running up near about 44-yard line, just short of a first down.
Green is a very good two-way player for the Scranton Knights. Actually started his career at Abington Heights and moved over to Scranton. Was a key part of the success for Scranton on both sides of the ball, and good kid too as well. Again, he can make things happen on the offensive side. So I think if he broke one today, it wouldn't surprise me a bit.
He's headed to East Stroudsburg University. He will play football. This is back to Gillette. Up near midfield for a first down. Of course, we talked about Gillette, Stan. I mean, injury-plagued career. Because he broke on, you thought he was going to be a great one.
He would have had, I think, a great career. His ability to stop on a dime and cut and accelerate was really rare for high school kids. We've talked about Mozgaleski being a hard-nosed runner and Seth Vernon having speed. Andre Gillette is a combination of that.
Green turns it up. McAndrew flushed out. Good job just to get it away. He was wrapped up on the bottom. Chris, did you see a number who had a hand on him?
I think that was Jason Klein from Mid-Valley. Another kid who had a really good two-way career for the Spartans under Dave Rebar. I believe he was in the bottom of that. But good pressure again by the county. Like I say, they're winning the battle up front right now, but they're definitely holding their own on both sides of the ball.
It'll be interesting to see if any of the linemen start to get tired a little bit. It's pretty hot today.
Little zone read from McAndrew. Shows his running ability, and he's got open space. Caught from behind by number 67, Stankiewicz from Mid-Valley. Did a nice job chasing him down.
Robbie McAndrew is very versatile. He's a three-sport star at Scranton High, and when they were 5-0, he was a big part of that offense because you had Harbin, you had Reese, you had a bunch of other guys, and he was a threat to run.
Give Stankiewicz credit, though. The big man didn't give up on the play.
Nope.
Ran him down from behind. That's good hustle by the Mid-Valley Spartan.
I bet you he hands this one off, though. This one he does. He doesn't want to run it. Need a breather. Why not? Give it to Gillette. Picks up nice blocking on the outside. Powers his way up to the 1. 18-yard gain.
What I like about Gillette, and you talked about his ability, to stop and start. I like his first step. I think he just accelerates right away, Coach. I mean, he was already full speed by the time you see him get to the outside. And, again, it's something that a lot of kids don't have. It takes them a while to get going, and that's the case with Gillette.
He'll be trying to continue his career at Lackawanna College.
I wish him luck because he deserves some good luck. There's no doubt about that.
Absolutely.
Hopefully he stays healthy because he's definitely got talent. There's that power eye again, Coach.
2nd and goal. Good play underneath.
Nice penetration on the part of the county.
Stankiewicz again. This time not coming from behind, but coming straight forward. And the Mid-Valley Spartan making his mark here in the first quarter on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, no room for Gil Martin from Scranton Prep. This is 2nd and goal. Power eye. Great defensive effort by the county, who may be outweighed by 15 pounds a man. Jason Klein shooting in for Mid-Valley. 3rd and goal.
Yeah, Klein and also John Boyd from DV was in there. And so far, County really holding their own in this goal line stand. Gil Martin just had nowhere to go. And Gil Martin went a lot of places this year. Boy, he had a great career at Scranton Prep. Of course, the Cavaliers, under Coach Gallagher, the success they've had has been very good the last couple seasons.
Big push from the offensive line and the center. Jerry Longo pushes McAndrew in, and the city is on the board.
That was a nice move by McAndrew. What he did was just moved it into that A gap to his right and was able to just almost walk into the end zone.
8 plays, 65 yards. The big play was the run by McAndrew, who gets credit for that and scores a touchdown. 90 seconds left in the first quarter. So Muldocker on for the extra point. Of course, you can't rush, can't block any extra points, so it doesn't get any easier than that. And we are tied in the 84th annual Dream Game. Both teams putting up 2 touchdowns here early on. Not too bad.
1:30 to go in the quarter.
Oh, for some reason, these Dream Games always take a long time. They're playing normal clock rules. They just seem to take forever.
That's all right. More entertainment
it is.
For this crowd, which is a very good one once again, down here at John Henses Veterans Memorial Stadium. Not a lot of empty seats, and beautiful day, beautiful night, I should say.
People lining the fence as well.
Yeah. I mean, you're looking at 5,000 to 6,000 people. They always average around there. All the money, of course, going to the Blind Association from the Lions Club.
If you're a county fan, you're lucky because you're already in the shade. The city fans over on the other side, they're getting a nice suntan over there.
Hope they put their sunscreen on before they came.
Well, speaking of in the sun, and a man I know has his sunscreen on, is our own Paul Grippy. Paul, who do you have?
Thanks, Bob. I'm on the city sideline where they just scored a touchdown behind offensive lineman here, Jerry Longo out of Dunmore High School. Now we had 3 plays down there on the goal line. You guys had to dial up the intensity each one. How did it develop?
Yeah, well, we like to get it in one, but, defensive line's pretty stout. So we just got to stay low, keep going at them, and keep pounding the ball.
In a game like this, in an all-star game, not a lot of practicing, how's the offensive line come together? Is that a difficult thing to find some chemistry?
Yeah, it's difficult the first 1 or 2 days, but once everybody gets their feet back underneath them, it's really no problem at all. We're just gelling together.
All right, thanks a lot. Jerry Longo from Dunmore playing for the city team, who now has a bit of a lead, Bob.
Well, they're actually tied, Paul. You got to keep an eye on the scoreboard. Seth Renan brings the ball up to about the 35-yard line. Let's see what the county has in store now.
It's fun to watch the camaraderie of these kids. I think right now, they don't like each other on the field, the city and the county, but let's face it, a lot of them know each other and playing each other since midget football.
Yep.
You become new friends with maybe kids you didn't play against, especially if they're your teammates here today. But that's the thing that will happen 20 years from now, Coach. You'll run into somebody, hey, I haven't seen you since the Dream Game.
Exactly.
And Time flies, believe me. These kids, I hope they appreciate what they're doing right now.
And for a lot of these kids, this is the last time they're going to put the pads on,
Yeah.
ever. I mean, there's a lot
That's
of
a
kids
good
who go
point.
through the
That's
roster.
a good point, Bob. Not all of these guys are college football players.
No, in fact, I would think a majority of them this
Oh,
year
boy,
are not.
here-
Vernon wide open, but Riley short-armed it, or he had a touchdown. Jake Jones just trying to catch up to Vernon out of the backfield. That's a mismatch.
Bernal just ran a wheel route coming out of the backfield.
Wide open.
Quarterback needs to step into that. You can watch he threw that off his back foot more so than stepping into the pass.
Probably got a little anxious. He was so wide open, but you got to follow your fundamentals. It didn't happen that time for Nick Riley.
So Bisso from Delaware Valley dotting the I in this one. He'll get the ball, but the city, huge hit in the middle, and that is the aforementioned Jake Jones from Scranton. I'm telling you, this guy's got a motor. He's shot in there. Look at it again, Coach.
Picture tackle. Keep that head up. Just keep your legs pumped.
Well, again, you're going to see a lot of offensive plays and a lot of, big scoring plays, things like that. But that just got the biggest reaction from the crowd
It
here.
did. It was a little bit of a misdirection play, a little trap.
As you might expect, some miscommunication on the
They're
sidelines.
one player shy.
Yep. Coach Hawanitz had to call his second timeout now. 32 seconds remaining in a very entertaining first quarter here at John Henses Veterans Memorial Stadium in Peckville, Lackawanna County. It's the 84th annual Lions Club Dream Game. Stan Kaharski's in the booth. We'll see him at halftime. He is the man of the, I keep saying, you're the man of the year. He is the man. Stan Kaharski and, of course, Chris Kaharski from NEPAfootball.com. 6 weeks away, boys, from the 2018 season. This is really the kickoff. Guys, the teams now will get into some conditioning. The next thing you know, we have Media Day, Coach, coming up in a couple weeks for the Lackawanna Football Conference. And then they put the pads on and away we go.
Well, it's a reality now. The teams have been practicing for quite a bit of time. The conditioning period is going to be up relatively soon. But make no mistake about it, these teams that are competitive have been practicing on a regular basis. It's become a full-time job for them.
So on the field, it's Riley on 3rd and 10. Over the middle. Wide open is his teammate Abisso inside city territory. Down at the 44-yard line. Gain of 20.
Yeah, Riley, again, just kind of getting out of some trouble and throws across his body a little bit, but the Abisso was so wide open, he just had to kind of stop and wait for the ball to get there and get the DV to DV connection. And I think the coach here, Coach Hawan's going to let the clock run out to expire the first quarter. And a very good first quarter.
Entertaining.
Very entertaining first quarter, Coach. And here are the touchdowns that got started with the Old Forge. Brendan Mozaleski, who takes it to the outside and gave the county the early lead, but the city quickly, and I mean quickly, responded through the air. A big combination. Andrew to Holbert for the easy touchdown. The county gets a big INT from Overholzer on this play right here as McAndrew can't make the pass. A big break for the Abington Heights graduate. But the city, they didn't let up. They came right back with a big touchdown of their own as McAndrew takes it in. And that's where we are in the 84th annual Lions Club Dream Game.
You're watching a special presentation of Friday Night Rivals. It's the 84th annual Lions Club Dream Game on MyTV WQMY.
Again, he underthrew that.
Young and old enjoying this beautiful night for high school football in northeastern Pennsylvania. Why not bring him out for maybe his first ever dream game, and one day maybe he'll be playing in the game himself. On the field, we're tied at 14. County still has the ball. They're in city territory. And they're putting a little drive together themselves.
The backs coming out of the backfield are going to be a challenge to both teams. Again, it's if they go 2 by 2 and the back comes out, it's going to be a linebacker that's got to cover.
Riley still quarterbacking this county team. Nico Perino from Lakeland will see some action. Vernon, if he gets outside, he's got speed. He does. Just out at the 30-yard line, 14-yard gain, first out.
You just can't teach that. That's inbred. Makes big plays.
I remember, Chris, we did that first game last year against Lakeland. Vernon was coming back, and he had the ball, and he just took over.
Yeah, again, if you don't have team speed and you can't up front handle, the line from you, it's a no-brainer for the offense. I mean, he's just going to make plays. It might not be the first one, but you'll get it on the second or the third one.
Of course, the Cougars won the District 2 4A title. Mozaleski, good blocking on the outside.
See, now that's a play, again, it was designed to go inside. Mozaleski just plants his foot and bounces it. Vernon runs outside the tackles. He's not a runner inside the tackles, at least not exclusively.
And watch Mozaleski on first contact, Coach. He delivers the blow. Lowers that shoulder, doesn't go down.
There's those cliches, you want to be the hammer or the nail, and he's usually the hammer.
Yeah, he did the same thing on the touchdown. He got into the end zone, and he delivered the blow. And that's just the type of player he is. He's a tough kid and very athletic.
Over 2,000 yards last year.
Yeah.
27 touchdowns for Old Forge. Of course, they won the district title. Little flip, little pass back to Riley. Little trickery by the county, and Riley's knocked out of bounds at the 2-yard line. Nice throwback pass.
That was Perino, the other quarterback. So they sneak him into the game, line him up in the backfield, and he makes a pretty good throw, and Riley, who's a quarterback by nature, tried to get into the end zone. Couldn't quite get there, but still a nicely executed play by the county as they pull out their bag of tricks, Coach.
Well, who has the quarterback on that? That's a tough thing to defend.
You got to look over way. I don't see many coaches. Is that legal?
Well, you said they had trouble guarding or covering the running backs coming out of the backfield. Here we go, a little power eye from the county. Saw that from the city earlier.
Mozaleski from Old Forge. Signal touchdown is second of the evening. County extends the lead as we go back and forth.
He has a nose for the goal line, that's for sure.
So Maz with another big touchdown. And the county really laying it on the city a little bit tonight.
Mozaleski scored 49 touchdowns during his career at Old Forge. Ran for over 3,600 yards. That's pretty impressive.
Well, he's got his second of the evening.
He's another kid that came into the program for Mike Schuback, and he played right away. I mean, he was on good teams at Old Forge. Obviously, they got to a state championship game not too long ago. They've had a lot of success. And Mozaleski kind of just stepped in right away from the time he donned the Blue Devil varsity uniform.
One of the interesting things about him, his junior year, Old Forge didn't have the kind of year that they normally have.
4-7.
And I think that Coach Schuback said to Brendan, "Hey, you're the man. You're going to lead this football team," and he did on both sides of the football. He was 342 tackles during the course of his career.
He's headed to Kings. We'll get a good one down there. So they go for two again. Riley in the shotgun.
Penalty.
Flag on the play.
Motion, there was motion.
So this should be declined by the city team. We'll wait for the call from our referee tonight, David Krasinski. Should decline it.
I'm surprised they didn't blow it dead. He actually moved before the snap of the ball.
Motion on the offense, refused. Result of the play is no extra point.
So Maz gets the touchdown. County extends their lead to 6, and we'll take a timeout here from Peckville. Nice crowd on hand here in Peckville. Stands are full. Watching a pretty good football game, if I don't say so myself. County leads by 6. I think that will be short-lived, though, as they'll tee it up and City will get the ball back. So Friar-Muth doing the kicking, I should say, from Honesdale. Little squibber, it's still a live ball. It's picked up by one of the up men and a hard hit put on at the 36-yard line. Kind of surprised, guys? 34 points put up on the board so far?
I'm not. I just think there's a lot of talent on both sides of the football. Dylan Kelly is special. He's demonstrated that with 2 great catches. Robbie McAndrew is special. So it's going to be an interesting 2.5 quarters or almost 3 quarters, Bob.
I just think it's a reflection of where the game's going, too. It's just become an offensive game. I mean, you mentioned earlier, running 4 receiver sets is common in high school football these days.
So Robbie McAndrew from Scranton has a touchdown on the ground through the air and also has thrown an interception tonight. It's flushed. Heaves it up downfield. He's got 2 guys. And Dylan Kelly picked it off and then fumbles it. They're going to say it's a catch and a fumble.
There was a Secor had the interception, Bob. It was number 7, I believe.
Check this one out again.
Yeah, not a good throw by McAndrew. Again, running to his right, tries to throw back to the middle, just sits up there too long. But give credit to Holbert from Wallenpaupack, who has a touchdown. He didn't give up on the play, stripped the ball away from Secor. So what it ends up being is a first down into county territory.
It does, and one guy who has a couple touchdowns tonight and has seen the end zone a lot this year is Brendan Molozaleski from Old Forge, and he's with Emma.
I'm here with Brendan Molozaleski from Old Forge, and it's only the first half of the Dream Game. What's it like to have such a big game?
Going into any big game, just like in the regular season, you just focus on your assignments and just looking for holes and just playing regular football. When you start letting the big game atmosphere get to you, bad things happen.
So you've had 2 touchdowns, and you're playing with old rivals, teammates. What's it like when you guys all mesh together?
Us in Riverside, unfortunately, I don't think that's ever going to mix, but those guys are good guys. That's just the tradition of it. Definitely the Del Val kids, the Cougars, we all became good friends. So, I'm happy that I'm here, and I'm happy to be with these guys.
Awesome. Thank you. Back to you, Bob.
Thank you.
Thanks, Brendan. Get back out on the field. I think another touchdown awaits. Chalette. Nowhere to go. That defense is looking really tough out there for the county this evening.
That was Anthony Celia.
Yeah, he got some penetration that time. And Celia, the linebacker. Again, these DV kids, they're almost nameless sometimes, Coach, because they just have so much talent.
Well, they're very well coached. They've got great numbers, and as you said earlier, Chris, about Kelly starting as a freshman, which is not always the case up there. And Keith Oldsummer does a fabulous job.
Yeah, even when you're not starting, you're going up against really good players. It makes you better.
Holbert again.
Holbert, touchdown, City. This one goes 36 yards through the air for the second time tonight.
I coached his father, I think.
You did. You did. Holbert having himself a pretty good first half. Now this is a better throw by McAndrew. No pressure this time by the county. He's patient, and he sees the post pattern open again, and Secor just, you can see him kind of hit himself in the head. He knows he got beat, and Holbert, again, showing some speed as well, and bet you which Coach Watson would have him on this field on August 24th.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he's graduated. He's got to find somebody to replace him.
So he had 4 touchdowns last season. He's got 2 tonight already.
There you go. He's having himself a career. And Maldacker's kicking these extra points. He has got a strong leg, let me tell you.
He does. Paul Grippy now with player on the field for the City. Paul, who do you have?
It's the quarterback for the City team, Robbie McAndrew from Scranton High School. Wanted to ask you about 2 plays on that series. First of all, the touchdown, threw it off your back foot, but you've hooked up with Ty twice tonight. How's it working with you and him and the play called there?
Oh, it's working great. The play call is excellent. Coach is doing a great job calling plays, and he's just beating his man, getting open, and I'm just throwing to him, the open guy.
Okay, now that play in the middle of that drive there kind of changed hands, came back to you. I don't know if it was drawn up that way during practice, but what happened there and how did the bounce go your way?
Yeah, I saw him go for a split second. It was off my back foot, so it was a tough throw. But then we got it back with a fumble, so we got him great field position. So it was just great to have the ball back, and then next play, go right in for a score.
Okay, and you're the only quarterback the City team has, so we got to keep you protected. But did that help you in practice, knowing you getting all the reps and you're going to play 4 quarters?
Yeah, in practice, it definitely helped me out. I was getting all the reps, get my arm back in strength, and now just out here, I'm having a blast.
All right, it's like a gunslinging match out there.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot. Robbie McAndrew from the City with a 1-point lead now, Bob.
Paul, tell him to put some ice on that shoulder. He's going to need it.
One thing you like to see when somebody makes a good play that that changes something, and that's what Holbert did on the interception. He's the one who got the strip, so he actually got rewarded for the touchdown. So he earned that because he got the possession back. Here's the touchdown, and he got some good distance between him and the D-back coach.
They did, but kudos to the offensive line because Robbie had a great deal of time that time to find the open receiver.
I think in this game we're going to see a kickoff return for a touchdown. Both sides have players capable of it.
Let's see, Dylan Kelly's turn from his 14. Wrapped up quickly, nice play underneath.
Good special teams covers that time by the City. I think Owen Hivner was the first one down there.
Hivner with the stop, County back on. Right now the kicking game, the difference. City has a kicker, County does not. Muldacker makes his extra points, they lead by 1.
It's like the City's guaranteed a point every touchdown.
Yeah.
The County, it's up in the air. You get the 2, well, it gives you an advantage. You don't get the 2, well.
Should they add a kicker for a guaranteed kicker on each? Or maybe there's not one available. I mean, that's why the City has 1 quarterback. There were no seniors this year.
Yeah, I was just going to ask that question. There
no
must be a
seniors.
lot of juniors who will be seniors this
So
year.
there'll be 5 quarterbacks next year. Oh. Hey, that's Shoemaker.
There's
Dunmore.
motion that was fullback left a little early on that.
Dead ball. Ball start. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Now is fatigue setting in? I mean, hot day, really not in football shape. A lot of points up on the board, Coach, running back and forth.
And they have 9 minutes to go in this second quarter.
Yeah. There's still a lot of time
I
left
know,
in
that's
this
what
football game. Luckily, there's the festivities at halftime to give these guys a good rest because they're going to need it.
So he has a touchdown pass already. Nico Pirano from Lakeland underneath center, taking over for the County team.
That's a nice job by number 33 of the City.
Jason Kopp from Holy Cross, yeah.
Took on a lead block, managed to keep his outside leverage, and still came off the block and helped to make the tackle. Excellent job.
It's interesting, the quarterback situation here for the County. 2 very different type of quarterbacks. Both had very good success for their teams, but Nick Riley, he's 6'3". Pirano's 5'8".
Yeah. Well, don't forget Jordan Tallarico from Carbondale is listed as a quarterback.
Right.
He's only 5'10". Pirano's going to wing it. A little wobbler, but it's caught by Walk. Western Wayne up past the 45 to the 46, 26-yard gain.
Ball was underthrown, and the defensive back lost contact with the receiver.
Yeah, that's caught early on too, Coach. You got to turn your head.
Yeah.
When the receiver, you got to see that receiver's eyes, because you know when that ball's coming. And
Jason Jett thought he was interfered with. He thought the receiver pushed off.
I think it was a good adjustment that time.
Bailey Walk headed to Bloomsburg, caught that. Western Wayne, another team on the rise. He will not play football at Bloomsburg. Pirano, he's got wheels. Almost got smacked by 2 City players. He avoided that. went out the 50.
Actually, they're going to mark him all the way back at the 42. He stepped out.
Oh,
so it's
okay.
actually be a loss on the play.
Yeah. I
So-
see that. He's
Yeah,
lucky he wasn't hit.
Yeah, he kind of did a little, tried to sidestep. And he stepped on the line. It was a good call by the official who was trailing the play. And so it goes for a loss.
Goes for a loss,
for the
yep.
County.
So you only have a certain amount of plays. You mentioned the two different quarterbacks. You still run the same plays you were running with Riley? I mean, there's only so much you can do in a game like this. Sienkiewicz moved up front, I think, or Hoffman, I should say. No flag. So third down. City's holding right now, 7:45 and counting.
I think that's a better question for Coach when you have a playbook like this. I mean, Perino and Rattler definitely different style quarterbacks, but
Well, you have to play within your players' abilities. If you have a kid that's you're going to keep him in the pocket and throw stuff. One of the things that I'm surprised, and I've watched this the last couple of Dream games, is not much of a three-step drop passing game.
Rhino, the shotgun. Feels the pressure, and he's going to get walloped by 3 white jerseys. Jones, Hoffman in there, Scranton combination. And
If you watch the corners, particularly, you'll see they start bailing out. If they're not in a press concept, they start bailing, and it's pitch and catch if you want to use your three-step game. But Bob, you and I discussed this last year. We don't see a lot of screen passes. We don't see a lot of draws. We don't see any of that stuff. I'm not sure why.
It's the nature of the game. It's not that it's right. It's just that people change the style, and everybody's running zone reads and shotgun formations. And it's just the traditional stuff that we're used to. It just has kind of gone to the wayside for now. It's trendy.
First punt of the night.
Yeah.
Walensky, Valley View. He does a little bit of kicking himself. This one bounces outside. Gillette lets it go.
Kyle Swalinski's had a great last 2 years at Valley View. His freshman year, I guess, he suffered a very serious knee injury playing basketball. And his sophomore, all he did was rehab. And I was coaching the quarterbacks here, and he was a quarterback, and he's got a gun. But he's been moved to defensive end and tight end, and he had 2 very, very good years for Coach Johannes.
Yeah, and a great senior year. In fact, that Valley View class, the seniors, winning their second district title in school history with a great game against Berwick, and then winning the baseball championship, ending a drought as well, and going to the state championship game. Kyle was he's a member of both those teams.
Good year for the senior class, all around at Valley View.
They're good kids. I coached Sammy Pitzman as well, and Sammy had a great career as a linebacker and as a fullback for Valley View.
He's actually calling the plays in the huddle, I believe, which is not surprising. He did that for several years at Valley View. Valley View staff, he knows what Coach Johannes wants.
Stankiewicz called his name a couple times for Mid-Valley, made the tackle there.
It's a nice little linebacking crew. Mozaleski, Pitzman, and Celia. That's 3 pretty good linebackers right there in the middle of that defense.
Oh, thought it was a screen pass, Coach. McAndrew, though, felt the pressure, and he takes a
right on
nice
cue,
big
that's
hit.
Sam Pitzman.
Sam Pitzman from Valley View. And boy, talk about a career. If he didn't lead the defense for Valley View, I don't know who did.
Just comes from the other side. He was back in coverage,
And again, a picture tackle. Stayed on his feet.
Pitzman headed to Lycoming, play football. Big Steeler fan, also. Almost every year, I think we called a game, Chris. He had over 100 tackles.
Yeah. Definitely the heart and soul of that Valley View defense. I mean, they had a pretty good defense overall last year, but Pitzman was always in the middle of things.
There goes Gillette out of the backfield.
McAndrew finds Gillette, bobbles the ball, makes the catch up past the 40. He was wide open.
Again, coming out of the backfield, it's got to be a linebacker.
Kudos to the offensive line for the city, though. Tons of time for Robbie McAndrew. Could just wait till somebody came open, and like you said, Gillette wide open. coming out of the backfield.
Almost dropped it. He started to run before he actually secured the football.
His coach, Coach Fahey, is also over at the booth to our left. He's one of the rules interpreters as well.
Coach Fahey thinks the world of Andre.
Gillette's still in there. He'll actually take this handoff. Only a couple yards. Mozaleski pays him back, but a yard gain. Hey, one thing we also didn't mention, you talk about Valley View winning the district title. All 6 district titles in District 2 this year, guys, won by Lackawanna Football Conference team, all represented here tonight. What's that say about this league?
It was a good year last year for them. I mean, that states it right there. But, I mean, there were a lot of good football players over at NEPAfootball.com. You look at the all-star teams, lots of talent. Coaches are going to have some problems replacing some people this year. But Dunmore, Scranton Prep, Valley View had great seasons, along with Delaware Valley.
Andrew with room. Nice tackle by Celia from Delaware Valley. We called his name a couple of times. 122 tackles last year.
Back to that point, too. Old Forge bouncing back last year to win the district title as well.
And Delaware Valley.
Delaware Valley won 6A. And actually, it was interesting. That 4A division, 4A classification, I think is the most competitive in the district. And it was a great run by Valley View, but again, you go to Berwick, and you had some pretty good football teams in that bracket. So that's going to be, I think, competitive again this year, Bob.
Yeah, Valley View and Berwick meeting in the regular season this year. Andrew just short-armed it to his teammate Green out there. We talk about Dunmore, and how about their dominance? Guys on the field, they've only lost 6 games in 4 years. They've won the district title 4 years in a row. They've gone to the state playoffs deep almost every year, getting to a state final one year. Got lost to Southern Columbia. We were there last year, Chris, but boy, you leave high school, you can't say I didn't do anything.
They haven't lost in the regular season since 2015, and I believe they haven't lost a division game in 5 or 6 years at least. I think it's like a 54-game winning streak or something. Just dominance by the Bucks. Now, this year, it's going to be a little test for them. They lost a lot of very good linemen. Some of them we're seeing in this game right here, but there's no doubt that the Dunmore's been the dominant program here in Northeast Pennsylvania here over that time period.
First punt of the game for the city team. Muldecker doing that as honors. Nice end over end. Takes a city bounce, and they're going to say he kept it out. Nice job by Kowalski down there to push that ball out. Yeah, County will have the ball at the 2.
These North Pocono kids really part of the resurgence of the Trojans under Greg Dolan, who's going to join us a little bit later on today's broadcast. And of course, they won a district title 2 years ago. Kowalski was a part of that.
Yep.
Obviously, it's a very competitive rivalry in that Lackawanna division with teams like North Pocono, West Scranton, and Valley View, and Abington Heights. There's just a lot of good rivalries. A lot of people, of course, who closer to our age, Bob, remember the old Big 11.
Yeah, Big 11. And the Suburban, the Big 11.
The Big 11, but the Big 11 had kind of the reputation with a lot of the city schools and things like that. So,
well, it's nice to see the competition in the Lackawanna League is really very acute. These teams know that they've got to prepare, they've got to be conditioned, they've got to work hard if they're going to compete.
Perino trying to hit selfies out there from Western Wayne, and Paul Grippy has the guy who just made a great special teams play. He's with him now. Paul.
I have Mike Kowalski from North Pocono making the special teams practice worth it. I know you guys just hope to get that over with quickly. Paid off that time. How did it happen? How did you get down there and make that stop before the goal line?
Absolutely. It was a great punt. First of all, can't do it without a good punt to pin it down there, a little coffin corner. But I was in the right place at the right time. Got a lot of good guys around us, so right place at the right time.
I know that's a big deal for you. I know you're happy to be playing. Last time you were here, ended your season, I think it was week 8, was it? And you suffered a leg injury, had surgery. How'd you make it back? What was the rehab like? What does it mean to you to play tonight?
It means a lot. I mean, a lot of time goes into it. You miss, as an athlete, as a young kid, love running around with guys like this, but you know, take the time, make sure you get back healthy, 100%. Feeling great right now and enjoying every second of it.
And wrapping up your high school sports career, you won a district championship in football, district championship in baseball.
Right.
Have you stopped to pause to think about the success you had, or are you going to do that later?
I mean, a little bit. Obviously, years down the road, that'll probably seem even bigger than it is, even if that's possible. But again, like I said here, great guys on this team, had some great guys in North Pocono, and just been along for the ride.
Well, lastly, and we'll talk to Coach Dolan later, but you were part of the turning point for those Trojans in the football program. When you were in 8th grade, when you were a freshman, they weren't the best team. Now they're a prideful team. How did you see that happening and coming?
Well, that's a testament to the coaching staff. Coach Dolan and the guys around him have done a great job, put a lot of time into that, and really passing that down through guys that were before us. You talk about that 2016 championship team, some great leaders there, and just passing along the torch to the young guys, hopefully for a great season this year as well.
All right, Mike, thanks a lot. Great to see you back out on the field and representing North Pocono, Bob.
Yeah, what a great job by him coming back from that injury, headed to Villanova.
The play selection that series is a little questionable. There's about 2.5 minutes to go. There were 2 passes thrown and 1 run. It's going to give the county an opportunity to have the ball in pretty good field position.
I think.
Injury again.
I believe that was Riley, the quarterback, right? Took a big hit
from Shoemaker. That's a couple times tonight he's taken those hits. He remains on the field. I don't know if it was the upper one or the under got him.
It might have been too, Bob. He might have landed on his head, which obviously concussions are a big deal in football these days, and could have been not the impact of the hit, but maybe the hitting the ground. We couldn't see the end of it there, but nonetheless, Delaware Valley. Again, I call it quarterback high.
Yeah, and how about their success, too? We talked about Dunmore. Of course, 6A always seems like dominated now. 6A was 4A when they started by Delaware Valley, 38-11 over their 4-year career. Some 3 district titles, Quad A1 their freshman year. And talk about Delaware Valley success and how they've kind of taken it on the road, too, every year going to Florida.
That's the big thing that separates them as a big school. They really schedule scrimmages and early games against some pretty good football teams. Their regular trip to Florida obviously gives them some good competition. So again, it's a little bit of a lesson that some other schools might want to learn.
And the other thing too is these last couple years, the bigger schools have gotten more competitive in the District 2 area. Williamsport had District 4, but plays in the Wyoming Valley Conference. They've had some epic games the last couple seasons. Hazelton's gotten better as well. Scranton High is always competitive. So for Delaware Valley, that schedule that where maybe had some pushovers from this area, those teams have gotten better, given better competition. And by the way, this year they're not going to Florida.
No.
They're going to suburban Philadelphia to play Penridge, which is a very good 6A program down in Philadelphia. So.
And happy to see Nick Riley walk off on his own accord, but looks like he's got his bell rung a little bit, probably a little bit of concussion protocol going to set in here at the Dream Game.
Well, the good news is the county does have Nick Perino.
And Tallarico as well.
Tallarico, so if Riley can't come back, at least they do have quarterbacks.
It appears that he's got a little bit of a leg problem.
Yeah.
More than a...
Maybe.
And hopefully,
that's
yeah,
he's
limping.
Yeah.
So, how about back on the field? Holbert with the return up to the 30, great field position.
Ty Holbert's making a case to be the MVP of this game.
Yeah, absolutely.
2 touchdown catches, stripped fumble, and we got a county guy down on the other side too.
That was a late flag.
Yeah, they've set up the wall. And that was actually Sam Pitzman, I believe, trying to push him out of bounds, and he's still down on the far sideline. Might have landed funny again.
We'll get any cramping tonight with the heat and not being in condition a little bit later on, or.
Yeah, these kids, don't forget, a lot of them haven't played football since November.
And you can tell from the practices.
Yeah, I mean it's like training camp, but you got to play a game a week later.
Well, with the heat as it's been, these kids, I'm sure they were told by their coaches to hydrate and hydrate and hydrate.
Well, they're going to tend to Sam Pitzman on the other side. They're going to bring some more medical personnel over there to take a look at him.
Covering the news that matters to you most every night at 10 o'clock. It's the Fox 56 News First at 10. Join Ryan, Jamie, and Mike every night at 10 for the Fox 56 News First at 10. So things slowing down a little bit, a couple of injuries to tend to, and 2:17 left before our Man of the Year gets an award down on the field. You nervous, Coach? You got a speech, right?
Very short one.
How much did you thank Chris?
Quite a bit.
No, it's probably the rest of the kids, right?
Listen, this guy to my right here, he's my father, but just talk to his former players, and you'll find out the influence he had on a lot of young men. Not just the schools he coached, Bob. I remember guys coming up to me that he coached against, and he coached them at camps and stuff, and he changed careers, he changed lives, and he's been well recognized. He doesn't like to hear about it, but he's like in 5 or 6 Hall of Fames all over the place, including the Semi-Pro Football Hall of Fame. He had a great career with the Scranton Eagles, Lackawanna County Eagles, and obviously his coaching career and at Bloomsburg. He still holds a record at Bloomsburg, which is amazing. He played in the 60s when obviously nobody passed back in the 60s except for Bloomsburg. And he still holds a record there, considering what's that, 50 years ago, Coach. And Bloomsburg runs like every offense everybody else does, too. So,
yeah, it's surprising, and certainly it's something that I cherish. I'm sure it's not going to be around forever. Records are made to be broken.
Bob, you'll like this one. I think the best recognition he's ever gotten, and Kaharski doesn't make much sense, but he's in the Notre Dame Club Hall of Fame down here. Down the street
Down
here.
the street here.
I mean, he might be the only Polish name on the wall, but.
We saw Sam Pitzman walk off. So 2 county guys banged up. Of course, there are 2 city players who were originally on the squad who are not participating tonight. So they are down to 33 players coming into this game. So let's see if they have something in mind. Yeah, they're going to go deep. Whoa, nice, great catch.
That's Nate Fangio.
Nate Fangio's doing what Nate Fangio does. We've seen that a lot with the Dunmore Bucks. A big gain inside the 10-yard line, first and goal
Bob,
City.
we said in the pregame that Robbie McAndrew was going to be a big difference in this football game, and certainly in this first half, he has been.
It's funny you said that about Nate Fangio, too. Normally that would sound kind of funny, Bob, Nate Fangio doing a lot of catching for the Dunmore Bucks. But last year that was the case. They threw the ball a lot more than they have the past several years, and they still had that success. Obviously they had a quarterback who could do it, and they had the athletes, and Fangio was one of them.
So the 50-yard gain sets up first and goal. Go Martin to the 5. So plenty of time, 2 timeouts remaining for the City team, who leads by 1 in this one, trying to extend that lead. City will get the ball to begin the second half. It will, unless they go for 2, and then there's a 9-point advantage. So Robbie McAndrew's going to have to ice his arm down at halftime. He's throwing a lot of passes. We'll get those stats at halftime for you. A couple of touchdowns. This is prep skill Martin. Fuller from the inside position.
Coach Watson does have 2 timeouts remaining, so they're just going to bleed some clock here. They're right there knocking on the door, try to go up maybe 2 scores. Actually, he's going to use one now, Bob.
So the City team will call timeout, 53 seconds remaining.
It's going to be interesting. You kind of mentioned this before. These kids on the field are saying goodbye to their high school careers, but I always thought it was symbolic of the start of the season coming up. We're already seeing kids at camps and teams practicing and with, not with pads on stuff, but, 7-on-7s and scrimmages and things like that. Over at our website, nepafootball.com, we get ready for our 5 to watch list, which is Very popular with the fans. We get a lot of feedback from them, and the players love it and hate it. They hate it when they're not on there, and we always say, well, prove us wrong, you know. And but it's a great list from the Wyoming Valley Conference and the Lackawanna Football Conference of some of the upcoming players. So make sure you check out the website, nepafootball.com. That'll be coming up soon.
And in the second half, the Lackawanna Football Conference has changed a little bit. Some teams have shuffled. Now we're in a 2-year cycle beginning this season. So they shifted things around a little bit. We'll check those out in the second half, and looks a little bit more competitive.
Yeah, I like what they did. It's never going to be perfect, but I think they improved the competition level this year, but big schools and small schools.
3rd and goal, Chris. Good job by the defense so far from the county. Can they hold up? Nowhere to go for McAndrew. Oh, somehow finds Gilmartin in amongst of white jerseys, and the prep graduate goes in for the touchdown.
Great job by Roddy
How'd he find him?
Yeah, not only that, he had to buy time. Zaleski was coming in full steam, and McAndrew tiptoeing that sideline, staying in bounds, and just dumping it off to Gilmartin, who made the last couple strides into the end zone. And here you see it. Zaleski full speed and just couldn't get there. Good way to elude the rush by Robbie McAndrew. That's a great play by him. And Gilmartin gets the touchdown. They can make this extra point here. They'll be up to a touchdown, 2-point conversion.
I mean, Prep rode Gilmartin last year. I mean, Boyle doing a nice job at quarterback, but when they needed the ball on the ground, it was Gilmartin, over 1,600 yards, 22 touchdowns.
Yeah, and he was banged up a little bit too. Yeah. But here's the thing about that, Bob. That's all offensive line there. A couple of the players, Rossi and Kohut and Farrell are all in this game. And that's why Scranton Prep has kind of turned the corner, first under Nick Donato and now Terry Gallagher. They've gotten tougher. They've gotten kids that come in and buy into their weight program and get bigger and stronger. Scranton Prep has dominated 3A the past couple seasons, and they're going to be a favorite this year again in that 3A classification.
So Mr. Grippy has the man who just scored the touchdown, Mr. Gilmartin.
All right, Bob. Yeah, Matt Gilmartin, Scranton Prep for the city team. Now, tell me, that's the way the play was drawn up in the huddle, or how did it happen the ball come in your hands?
I was supposed to block the end, and play scattered, and I just went out and put my hands up, and he threw it to me.
Yeah, doesn't happen a lot. I mean, your guys, your teammates are proud of you there. Look at that. They're showing that. Show them your gloves. Hold them up. Let's see the hands. There you go. Look at that. All right, you're the hero. And you're going to probably go into halftime with the lead. How's that feel for the first half of the way your team played?
Feels great. It's a great momentum boost. Definitely to head in the second half. Up a touchdown. It's just a great way to go.
All right, thanks a lot, man. Matt Gilmartin from Scranton Prep, and he's got a little bit of a lead here with halftime coming up for the city.
Yeah, he had to head to college this week, Chris. Had to take some orientation, and so he missed a couple practices, but he's come back strong. 8-point lead now for the city team.
Here's the thing, 45 seconds left. If they get a good kickoff return here, the county could actually maybe tie this up before halftime. The way the points have been coming, won't count that out yet, but I think a kickoff return, at least to midfield area, is going to be necessary. And also, don't forget, Nick Riley's out.
Nick Riley's out, yeah.
Doesn't mean Prino or Tellerico can't do the job, but he's more of a pure passer, and obviously with the size and stuff, we saw him have some success in that first half. Sun's starting to set here in Peckville, Pennsylvania. Lights are on and starting to become some Wednesday night football here in Northeast Pennsylvania.
Well-played football game so far here for an all-star game. Both teams putting on points. There's been some great defensive action. Now let's see if the county tie this one up going in. Abisso still on his feet, making moves. Big block. No flags. Yes, there is. They're going to call a flag. Ryan Abisso, though, going to go in for a touchdown, but I think this is coming back. I might think it might have been legal, Chris. We'll check out the replay, though, right? We'll check it out.
Got a roar from the crowd, but I think that's a tough call.
That is.
Was it on the side? Was it, Abisso did a great job to keep it alive. Look at him, he's going out of bounds. You see here, he kind of accelerates to the left, makes some people miss, and actually almost fell down. But here, missed tackle, Bounces back. Now he's got some room. Let's see. It's going to be right here on the right side. Oh, just missed it. But it's coming back. Nothing
Yeah,
to do about it.
we'll pick this one up again. I think we got to check out the block. I think it was Fuller, number 17, who made it. No,
That
it
was
was
Nazi
14.
Smith.
It was Nazi Smith from
Helmet looked in
Valley
front,
View.
Bob. I got to be honest with you. The helmet looked like it might have been in front. That might have been a pretty good block.
Well, doesn't matter what we think, Chris.
Nope.
No replay in high school football. Referee said it was a bad block. Comes back. That changes things a little bit.
Ruined my prediction for the first half. I thought we were
did.
going to have a kickoff return for
It
a
was
touchdown.
very close, and boy, Abisso, he did a nice tiptoeing act on that sidelines.
Exciting, though. That's again,
Yeah.
that's what this game is about. It's fun.
I mean, the fan. I'm entertained. I got to tell you.
Well, the fans are into
Get
it,
you
too.
pumped now
Yeah.
for football season, right? I mean,
Definitely.
get you pumped. So let's see. Perino back on the field. 4 wideouts in there. County has a timeout left. Razzle dazzle. Throw it back to Abisso, who's wide open.
Oh, boy.
I think he's tired. Tripped down at the 30-yard line.
That's a good point, Bob. He probably is tired.
I
but
think he was tired.
The thing is, he only had 2 big guys downfield cover him. Joey Ani was one of them, and you know Obiso could outrun these guys, but he just kind of tried to cut back, and yeah, he had him. He had him turned around and everything. And
Secor threw that to him. That was a pretty good pass.
yeah, very good pass. Looked like he was covered at first, and then I think the defender kind of stopped and gave the opportunity for the play to happen. Now, the County has to use their last time out here because the ball was in bounds.
Now, the County does not have a kicker. Remember that.
Right. They're going to have to go for the end zone
They
here.
got to go for the end zone. I know Chris he wants to get downstairs.
We'll get there.
See his dad, but first things first, 9 seconds left.
Time for maybe 2 plays here.
No, they didn't use a timeout, I don't think.
Oh, they marked the ball. Okay.
Yeah, no. Perino to the air. Got to get rid of it. He does. Double coverage. That's a flag. And there it is. 2 seconds left. First and goal, County.
And there's Dylan Kelly again causing havoc for the County team. And it's pretty good coverage, to be honest with you, Bob, but I think he might have pushed him in the back right when he was trying to maybe go get the football, the defender.
Hey, give Perino a lot of credit. He saw the double coverage. He wasn't afraid to put it in there. Got the flag.
On the offense. Half the distance. First down.
So it's half the distance. It's going to be at the 15.
You see that there's Perino behind those big linemen, too, but yeah, he had a good step. Yeah, maybe a little. The feet got tangled, but did the right hand go on his back? I think that's what the referee
Green
saw.
says no. No, I know. Reese, you did not.
Yeah, Green had good coverage. I mean, the feet were definitely tangled. It was a matter of did he push him a little bit with that hand. And they're marking it at the 15.
Yeah, half the distance to the
Oh,
goal.
that's right.
Remember?
That's right. Yep.
Yeah, I know.
I'm thinking
Last
NFL.
play of the half.
Oh, you got to get rid of it.
Last
There it
play.
is. Oh.
Just out of the reach, trying to get it to Zipatelli from Riverside, and that's the way this first half ends. Don't leave your television. This has been a great football game here in Peckville tonight. City leads by 8. Emma has Coach Hawanitz. Emma?
All right, Coach Hawanitz, it seems that your boys are enjoying themselves on the field and on the sidelines. In your opinion, is that what the Dream Game is all about?
Yeah, I think they've done a nice job in the first half. I thought both teams played a hard first half. It's exciting. I think that's what you want out of the game. So hopefully we could do the same thing in the second half and make it just as exciting.
I've noticed a belt being passed around to players. Can you tell me the story behind that?
That's their turnover belt. So Miami has the turnover chain. Our guys had the turnover belt. So anytime you get a turnover, they're going to bring the belt out on the field.
All right, great, Coach. Good luck in the second half.
Thank you.
Now I think we have Paul with Coach Watson. Paul?
Okay, I have Coach Watson, who is the leading coach here at halftime. Coach, well, I mean, you didn't waste punt practice. You did have 1 punt in that first half, but all in all, it's a gunslinging shootout here. Did you expect this kind of shootout here between these two teams?
Yeah, I knew it was going to be a high-scoring game. That's the way they designed the defense to do that. So we're just having a little issue stopping their outside run, but we'll take care of that in the second half.
For your team, a couple of plays broke down, but your players on the field pulled something out of it. What did that tell you? What does that mean to you as a coach in this game?
it's an all-star game. All-stars make big plays. Big-time players make big-time plays, and it's great to have them on our side right now.
All right, Coach, thanks for a very entertaining first half. Let's get 30 more minutes of entertaining football. Well, it's 24 minutes in high school football. But a great first half, Bob, and we enjoyed it here on the city sideline. Bob, looking forward to the second half.
Absolutely, Paul. Get a drink of water and buckle up. It's going to be an exciting second half. When we return here on MyTV, we'll head to the field for the ceremony of the Man of the Year. Score at the half. City leads by 8.
You're watching a special presentation of Friday Night Rivals. It's the 84th Annual Lions Club Dream Game on MyTV WQMY.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Scranton Lions Club, it is an honor for me to present to you the Scranton Lions Club Man of the Year for 2018. He graduated from the former Archibald High School in 1963, where he participated in football, basketball, and baseball, and as a senior, he was named the school's Athlete of the Year. After graduating from Archibald, he enrolled at Bloomsburg State College, and as a sophomore, he joined a football program where he excelled as a wide receiver and defensive back. He was a football tri-captain in both his junior and senior years and was selected Athlete of the Year as a senior while being honored with an All-State berth in the Pennsylvania Athletic Conference. As a result of his career at Bloomsburg, he was inducted into the Bloomsburg Hall of Fame in 2001. He graduated from Bloomsburg in 1968 with a Bachelor of Science degree in History and Government. He was then hired as a teacher and assistant coach at Manville High School in New Jersey. In 1976, he returned to the area, and for the past 29 years, he served as the head football coach for Scranton Prep, Mid-Valley, and Wallenpaupack area high schools. After a 38-year period as a teacher and coach, he retired in 2006. During his time in our area, he played semi-pro football for the Lackawanna County Eagles and the Scranton Eagles, where he helped lead the Scranton Eagles to 2 league championships, and in 2016, he was inducted into the American Football Association Hall of Fame for semi-pro football. He continued to be very active in the Pennsylvania Football Coaches Association, having served as District 2 Director and was inducted into the Association's Hall of Fame in 2017. In 6 of the last 10 years, he served as an assistant football coach at Valley View High School, and for the past 12 years, he was employed as an admissions counselor at Lackawanna College, a position he retired from this past June. Additionally, he was coach for the city team 40 years ago in 1978. On the personal side, he has been a dear friend of our family for over 50 years. Both he and his wife, Katie, are very dear friends, in addition to his children, Chris, Kaylee, and Alec. He worked at our football camp for over 40-some years. He's been at our clinic for 34 years. He's been a dear, dear friend and a real loyal friend. We wish him all the best in his retirement, and I'll tell you this, it's an honor and a privilege and a pleasure for me to introduce you my good friend, Coach Stan Koharski. Stan. Here we go.
I will try to be relatively short. It is with great humility that I accept this recognition as the Lions Club Man of the Year. I would like to commend the Lions Club for the great work they do in sponsoring this 84th annual Dream Game. I would also like to commend my good friend Jerry Prosciutti for the work that he does as a liaison between the players and the officials of the Lions Club. As many of you know, this is the longest running All-Star game in the country. This game benefits the Lackawanna Blind Association, which has helped so many people who have had vision difficulties in Lackawanna County. Whenever someone receives recognition for their work, that recognition must be shared with many other people. I want to thank all my assistant coaches and players with whom I've worked with for more than 4 decades. Most importantly, I have been blessed with a loving and supportive family. My lovely wife, Katie, and my children, Christopher, Kaylee, and Alec, have supported me unconditionally. The Dream Game affords graduating seniors a final opportunity to represent their respective high schools. These young men who are playing tonight embrace dramatically the tradition of the Dream Game. The players get to wear their helmets for one last time. These players were chosen because of their achievements last fall. The game enables them to become teammates with players who were their competitors last fall. They have forged new friendships that could last for many years. As an athlete and a coach, I have tried to analyze what we bring into our lives by playing this great game of football. How does it impact and affect our character and personality? I know it teaches us certain values and principles that help to shape both our character and personality. It teaches us the importance of commitment, dedication, resilience, teamwork, and many other traits. Perhaps most importantly, it teaches us that hard work is the key to our success as human beings. In closing, I would hope that all these players are grateful for and to their families, coaches, and teammates for the support they have received from them that contributed to their development and success. Lastly, I want to share with you something I read concerning the philosophy of Pete Carroll, the head coach of the Seattle Seahawks. His philosophy as a coach wanted all his players to become what he called their best selves. I'm not quite sure how that's defined. However, for tonight's players, wins and losses over their careers will fade with time and really lose their significance. But what really matters is what players take away from their experiences as an athlete and make those values and principles that I cited as the core of their characters and personality. Hopefully their experience as football players will enable them to become their best selves. Thank you very much.
I'm Emma Henzis, and welcome back to MyTV's live coverage of the 84th Annual Dream Game. Right now at half, City's leading 28-20. I'm here with my grandfather and Dunmore head coach, Jack Henzis, and we're currently standing on the John F. Henzis Veterans Memorial Field. What is that like to be standing on your father's field and my great-grandfather's field?
Well, I enjoyed the 6 years at Blakely High School as an assistant on my dad, Papa Bear, and those 6 years were just wonderful. Taught me everything that I had to do, has carried me over my career. Brings a lot of nostalgia back to me, what has taken place here, but I enjoyed my 6 years very much.
Our family has had 4 generations of Henzises in the Dream Game. What has that been like through the years?
Well, you know, your dad played here at in Valley View, and your other brothers played at Abington, but there's something here that is very special to play on this field. As I said, I spent 6 wonderful years here, and it's something I'll always remember.
So you've coached, you've played, you've watched your kids, your grandkids, and your players play. What do you think the best experience is?
Well, just that they become very good athletes, very good student athletes, and came out very healthy. That's the important thing.
And so I have to ask, I haven't been to the house in a while. How is the tomato garden looking with all the rain we've had this week?
Well, my zucchinis are growing well. I have some little cocktail tomatoes that are growing well, but the other plants are coming along very well, but no red tomatoes yet.
So you have some players in the Dream Game. What's special about them this year?
Well, they're fine young men. They're very good student athletes, and these young men have won 4 district championships, which is unprecedented, and we're going to miss them a great deal.
Now tell me about your team in the fall.
Well, we've got a lot of replacement to do, so our kids are working very hard at the present time, and hopefully everything works out for the best.
All right. Thank you very much, Poppy.
All right.
Thank you.
You bet.
Okay, halftime winding down here at Hens's Memorial Stadium of the Dream Game, the 84th Dream Game, oldest high school football all-star game in the country. And the man who put it on tonight, the chairman of the Dream Game for the Scranton Lions Club, Bill Dempsey. You know, they used to play this game in the fall, and then we moved it to early August, but this year, mid-July. How come the move on the schedule?
Well, we had a change in the schedule with the PIAA changing some of the upcoming fall schedule for next year's football season. So we reacted to their change in schedule and bumped us back a week, and I think it's been nice. We've got some more guys who are able to play, who have college commitments that maybe would not have been able to play if the game was another week into the summer. So it's been really nice, and what a great night we have tonight.
Yeah, this is such a great game, a great event, but let's remember it is a fundraiser. You guys, the Lions Club, will get a lot of money tonight donated to a cause that's very important to you. How will this money help in the area?
So all of the proceeds tonight go to the Lackawanna Blind Association. So every cent raised by the Dream Game goes to the Blind Association, and they, out of Lackawanna County, they service, I think it's 5 or 6 surrounding counties as well. So very important organization with a lot of need in our area. We want to thank DePietros Pharmacy, our presenting sponsor, and all the local area companies that donate to the ad book and support the game year over year.
Okay, now you played in this game probably, I'm guessing, 2 or 3 years ago. What do you think of that first half? 28-20. How's this football game working out?
That was great. That's what we want to see in an all-star game. Get up and down the field. These kids are having a blast. It really is a great time for these kids. Last time some of them are going to play, and I still remember when I played. It was one of the most fun memories I've had as a young adult.
All right, thank you very much. Bill Dempsey, the chairman of the Dream Game for the Scranton Lions Club. And Bob, that was a great first half, and he says we're going to have just as good a second half.
That's right.
I would agree. I think we're going to have a shootout to the end. So the score at the half, 28-20. Teams both on the field. So let's take a look at some of the highlights. Chris Kaharski back in the booth with me. Early on, Chris, County coming out and making a statement.
Yeah, great first drive by the County, and you see Wozleski finishing things up there, but that got them off to a good start. But then the big play abilities of the city.
Yeah, Hobart's got a couple touchdowns from Wallenpaupack in that first half as McAndrew is throwing it around. He does have this one interception. Overholzer from Abington Heights reeled it in, 17, in for a touchdown.
Yeah, ball sailed on him a little bit, but Overholzer was in the right place where he's supposed to be and makes the catch and gets his Dream Game touchdown.
Yep, back and forth they go. McAndrew makes up for it with his legs this time. Big run before that, and then scored the touchdown. But County, Wozleski has a couple TDs himself from Old Forge, knows how to find that end zone. Tough running. And then another big one.
Holbert again.
Holbert.
Yeah, good throw by McAndrew. And here's a nice play by McAndrew as well. He's made big plays. His offensive line's done a pretty good job giving him some time. He's bought his own time as well, and that touchdown right there put the city up 8 points here before halftime, although the County almost got in, Bob. They're pretty close there at the end, but we're ready for second half action.
Great first half of football here on MyTV. Second half begins with a ball going off a city helmet. The fight underneath. Let's see who has the ball. We're going to break up this pile. This is a big series for the city. If they can get the ball, Chris, and they score, then they take a big advantage. It's going to be city ball. Great job by Koff from Holy Cross. Joining us in the booth for the second half, North Pocono head football coach Greg Dolan. Also related to Emma Henzes and Coach Henzes. Once coached at Dunmore, now you're leading North Pocono, have a district title under your belt. Coach, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Bob. I really appreciate being here.
So your impression of the first half?
I thought it was a great first half, exciting. I think that's what you see with the rule changes with man-to-man really opens the game up. And I think that's what you're going to have a lot in the second half, too. You're going to see some wide open plays. And I think the kids are really playing hard. The weather's helped too. I don't think the kids are as tired and as they've been maybe in past games, and I think you're going to see a lot of big plays coming.
Yeah, it definitely cooled off from a hot day earlier, and a little bit of a breeze, I think, is definitely helping these players. Again, a lot of them going two ways, not big rosters. And so, interesting first play call, though. I don't know if you saw that, Coach, but they ran the option. We haven't seen that yet in the All-Star game today, right?
Well, that's a great play against man coverage. Guys' backs are turned, and now if you read an end and you pitch the ball and you have a lead back, you can really generate a big play. And I think both teams have tried to run that a couple times here.
Robbie McAndrew, a good first half. Chris, 5 of 8, 159 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 on the ground, and an interception. Only quarterback on the roster. We screen from Scranton, going nowhere. Oh, spins out. And holding on, I think that was Haney from Delaware Valley underneath the pile.
Well, 2 good stops by the county defense here on the first 2 running plays of this second half. Again, they're trying to get Green some room outside, but good penetration by Haney. He never let go of his leg. And Coach, those Delaware Valley kids, obviously you're very familiar with that team, and they've got some tough kids, and he's one of the tougher ones.
Oh, yeah, great kids, great athletic kids. I think what they have at Delaware Valley is length. They're lengthy kids, long kids, run to the ball really well. So you see that come to play in games like this. It's just getting to the football, but great break program, a lot of great football players.
County trying to make a stop, get back in this game on 3rd down. Haney rushing. Andrew flushed. Down for Green. Makes the catch. Great catch by the Scranton grad inside county territory.
The quarterback's a playmaker. McAndrew makes plays all over the place.
And that throw, actually, it looked like for a second that the county was going to get a stop there as Tyler McGee got up there, but perfectly thrown just over his outreached hand, and a nice catch once again. And the city moving the ball again. Some big plays in the air for this squad here tonight.
26-yard gain. McAndrew finds Green. Of course, Green headed to East Stroudsburg University. He'll play some football. All-region selection.
The jet sweep formation they're going to run now. If they don't move, they bring them across.
Option again to Gillette. Gillette with speed to the outside and running room to gain up to the 14.
That's a great play call. When you do that in a game like this, they have to follow the man in motion. And if you're not playing zone, there's no one left. That's why they're doing it. There's no one left at that outside edge. And a lot of great play calls today by the coaches.
And you mentioned the edge, and that was the key on that. That didn't work the first time, but that time Cecilia just couldn't get there. He got beat to the outside, and you got to keep leverage there, Coach. Actually, Coach Kaharski called that earlier in the game.
But it's hard because you're getting options, so that he has to read the pitch. And now if he pitches the ball, the outside linebacker doesn't get there. And that's a great play call in this type of game.
The big offensive line from the city might be wearing down that county line. Out to Gillette. Couple of blocks inside the 10 he goes. First and goal. Excuse me, second down. They can get a first down inside the 5.
That was Rob Sebastianelli, a Valley View linebacker, playing on his home field one last time, coming in to make the tackle. Lackawanna Football Conference, Coach, obviously at 4A, that's what the classification you've been in the last several years. You won the district title 2 years ago. Valley View won it last year, and some success for those programs in the Lackawanna League.
Yeah, it's a great league that we have with Quad A right now. Abington Heights is moving down now, and West Scranton. You got some great teams. I think 4A is a very competitive loop in our area.
Quarterback keeps it. He's going to be close to a first down inside the 5.
Now, Coach, we're not going to ask you to second guess anybody, but
go ahead.
Robbie McAndrew is the only quarterback on this roster.
Yeah.
Coach Watson seems to be using him a lot to run the football here. That's a kind of a little bit of a risk here tonight when you don't have anybody else on the roster.
Taking a gamble. If something would happen, I'm sure they have something in place. And
Gillette.
So I was going to say it has to be one of the running backs, right? That have to play from a wildcat position. But he's a tough kid. The McAndrew kid's a tough kid. Obviously, we played against him. You see the highlights of him. He's a playmaker. Obviously, a good quarterback. But I think what he does is make plays in the open field. And what a gamey kid. You're right. They're taking a big chance.
Well, it is his last football game. He's going to St. Joe's.
There you go.
In Philadelphia. They don't have a football team.
Yep.
So why not?
Yep.
This is Gil Martin. But that
County line holds once again, but it was 2nd and 1. I think he's got a first down. May have the chain gang come out and check this one.
They go that stack formation. You know, you get in this game, and they got 3 linebackers and 2 corners. It's tough to run the ball. It's rugged, and there are some big guys. You know, a little play action here might be wide open if they could do it on 1st and 2nd down, and then you got the running game. But
especially when you're lining up with that power eye backfield, you're telegraphing run.
yeah,
You might be able to sneak one of those backs out or sneak a tight end out in the flat there. They did get the first down, so
this would be a great way to do it, Chris, because now you got first down. He throws the ball away if nothing's there, and then you got 3 downs to get it. And again, McAndrew's a great playmaker, and he's the type of kid that if nothing's there, he'll scramble, he could throw it out of bounds or run it in. You know. Now they go back to a little more traditional and with the 3 wides.
So 1st and goal now for the City, looking to extend this 8-point lead.
See, there's the option again.
Little option.
See, he's walking in, fellas, because there's no one there once you run the guy in motion. And the rules of this game, there's no one left.
Well, somebody wanted to hold, didn't get the flag.
Yeah.
Touchdown for Gillette. Good for him.
Yeah.
He deserves it.
Very happy for him. Too many injuries to that kid. He's a great running back. And one of the best running backs in our area last couple of years, but he just has not played enough games.
So the City take advantage of last 2 possessions. Chris, they go right in for touchdowns. And now it could be a 15-point lead. County will get the ball back.
yes, again, the County started this game off with a great drive to get on the board. Now the City in the second half actually comes out and does the same thing to extend their lead. And Muldacker almost automatic, especially with no pressure on him. It's a very strong leg for the paw pack kicker.
So Muldacker boots it in, 7:08 remaining in the 3rd quarter. City extends the lead. We'll take a quick timeout and then get you back here in Peckville. Tee it up one more time. Looks like Vernon and Abyssal back to return. Chris thinks there's going to be a touchdown on special teams. We'll see. Vernon lucky to just pick that one up. County will have the ball, and it gives us a chance now to head down to Paul Griffey with another guest. Paul.
Hey, Bob, I have the guy getting the hard yards on the ground for the City team tonight. Andre Gillette just scored a touchdown. I think that might have been the easiest touchdown of your career. It looked like you had the defense fooled pretty well.
Yes, we did. The offensive line did a great job blocking out there. It made it easy.
Your career at West Scranton had its ups and downs. I know you had some injuries, but man, when you were healthy, you really carried that team. How much did you enjoy the football experience with the Invaders over the few years you did it?
I loved it. Coach Fay and the coaching staff did a great job with us.
And you'll be going to Lackawanna College next year, playing football for the Falcons. What made you come to that decision?
After the football season, when I got no offers or any college looks, so decided to go to Lackawanna to get a better opportunity.
I know your dad was a terrific football player. I used to watch him play, coached a little bit. Is he up here tonight? Can we wave to Dad?
He's up there in the gray shirt.
Well, we are back live at John Hens' Veterans Memorial Stadium. It's the Lions Club Dream Game. We apologize for the technical difficulties before that, but back on the field. County has the ball. We have a flag down. We're going to hear from referee David Burkhart.
Hold on to defense, 10 yards, not an automatic first, so repeating 3rd down. Holding, defense, 10-yard penalty, repeat 3rd down.
David Brzezinski, is the referee tonight. So there you heard what's going on. 15-point lead, 5:22 remaining.
Yeah, and again, high school football, holding is not an automatic first down. We're used to college or NFL rules. So those sacks really hurt them, Coach. Obviously, put him in negative situations, and now they're back to the original line of scrimmage, but still going to be a tough 3rd down conversion here against the pass rush that's coming on.
I think what you're seeing is you're seeing a great pass rush now that's really putting the quarterback getting the ball off a little bit quicker. There's people open downfield, but you got to protect your quarterback.
Rhino flushed again.
That's
He's being chased in the last 3 downs like he's never been chased before. He goes down quickly. Nick Shoemaker with the big play, and boy, we call his name a lot. He was really what the defense was for this Dunmore Buck team last year.
Yeah, obviously I know a little bit about him, and he's a kid that's very excitable, has great get off the ball, and very athletic. You see right there, he just blew by the guard, and he was gone and blew up the play, and now you got kids coming from the edge. He's that type of kid. He gets going. You can tell he becomes unblockable. And right now, if they're going to drop back with that type of protection, they're going to be in a lot of third and longs.
I can tell you one thing, Nick Perino has had Nick Shoemaker chasing him around.
Yes, he has.
The last couple of years.
Yes, he has.
Listen, again, nothing against Nick. He had a good career at Lakeland, but it's harder for him now, too, because, again, he's only 5'8". Nick Riley was 6'3", who the quarterback from D1 now. It's just a little harder. These kids are bigger, and, he's having trouble seeing downfield sometimes, so it's a tough situation for this county right now.
Well, their defense is going to have to hold if they want to stay in this game. The punt is the advantage of City. They will have it at their 40, at the county 46-yard line, and that's where they'll take over, up 15 points with 4:10 remaining here in this third quarter. Well, we talked about pregame, Chris, the City having a little, maybe we're starting to see that now into the second half.
Well, yeah, I think Coach Dolan said it too. I mean, the pass rush is key, and if the county can't protect the edges, they're going to be in trouble the rest of this game. They're going to figure something out, maybe do something a little bit different, misdirection, use that running game a little bit more.
They will go to the ground with Gilmartin. Hey, this defense has come to play. Great job by Brendan Mozaleski out of Old Forge, and we saw that a lot over his career.
Yeah, I mean, again, he gets in there quickly, and Chase Overholser comes in to follow up, and that's what you want when you're trying to stretch the running game out, Coach. You got to get penetration, and again, Mozaleski's very good at that.
Yeah, he's a good football player. We scrimmaged him over the years, and he runs downhill. I'll tell you, what's happened is that the county's doing a good job of getting some pass rush, but the quarterback from the City is making plays. And, that's going to be the difference here. Now, you got him in the second and long, probably going to spread the field, and get a matchup now. And that's been a little bit of the difference. See, 2-by-2, there's no middle safety.
So it is second down, and we have a timeout, and that gives us the chance to take a break. We'll be right back after this.
You guys must be in good conditioning.
Yes, we are. Conditioned every practice. We knew we had to get it in that play, so we did.
I see a lot of Scranton prep on the offensive line. Part of the reason you guys have been so successful, not just last year, but the last few years, and you guys must be proud that you get to play in this game together. What's it been like playing with your teammates from Scranton Prep?
Oh, it's awesome getting one last game in with the kids from Prep and also the City kids. They're real good players, good athletes, and hopefully we pull out the win today.
You're up by 22. You feel comfortable here late in the third quarter?
We can't give up. We got to keep going.
All right, thanks a lot. Anthony Rossi, Scranton Prep, offensive lineman for the City team, Bob.
They don't tell me when you're done anyway.
Prep's the defending champion of that league, but now it shrinks a little bit with North Pocono moving out.
Yeah, it's the same division with West North Pocono, but you can see, the Valley View obviously is going to probably be the favorite along with Prep.
Yep.
But Prep's had the better of them the last couple of years.
Here's Vernon, ridden out of bounds about the 26. So County now with an opportunity. Let's see. They get the ball back, but they have to score. There is the division one more time.
Well, again, there's time left in this game, Coach. You got a minute 23 left in the third. With the rules, that's what makes it better because it's not over.
Yeah, I think the big thing they have to understand now is don't get your quarterback beat up a little bit. Maybe run the ball, maybe get a big game out of the running game, and you score, like you said, you get it back. The rules allow you to get back in the game quickly. Don't panic. Run the ball, get a touchdown, see what happens, because your quarterback's getting beat up a little bit here. It looks like that's what they're going to do.
New quarterback in the game, too.
Jordan Tallarico from Carbondale. He hands it off to Mozaleski, who's gang tackled by a bunch of white jerseys.
Yeah, they're really getting to the ball now. That was number 29, or number 24, I believe. I think that was McAllister getting in there from the secondary position, Prep kid, and then that's Shoemaker again.
Yeah.
No surprise there.
Yeah, that was one of my kids, linebacker Joe Annie was in on that. He was in a couple tackles early in the game here. The game's slowing down a little bit for the county.
Yes, it looks that way.
And that doesn't seem to fit their talent. So, it's playing into what the City wants to happen, I think.
Well, it's been a long game and some hot weather. Tallarico being flushed. Trying to hit the tight end over there.
Tallarico
yeah.
out of Carbondale. I think he was a 3-year starter up there for Larry Gabriel. one player I want to mention, because we're not going to mention him on the field, is his teammate, Steve Martin. Steve made the county squad, and he hurt his knee in practice earlier this week, unfortunately. And so best wishes to Steve. He is here tonight. He's on crutches, but nonetheless, I know the team was supporting him. He was one of the captains tonight, and unfortunately, injuries are part of football, Coach, and you hate to see it happen, especially when you're going into your dream game experience.
Of course, I look for a good pass rush shooter. But you hate to see kids get hurt. The kids on the sideline here on the county. See, right here's another good pass rush again coming around the edge.
Yeah, your guy.
Yep. But good deep. Scranton Prep has great defensive backs.
Intercepted.
Is that Dixon?
Yeah. That is Sam Dixon from Scranton Prep.
Well,
got burned on a play in the first half, but a little redemption there for him. Headed to East Carolina.
I like the throw by Tallarico, though, because that serves as a punt right there.
Yeah.
I mean, go for it. Maybe get a good bounce. Maybe get a pass interference call. So kind of, it didn't work out, but again, you get pretty. I don't know if you get a punt that long at this point.
Probably not if it bounces. So that's a pretty good chance taking a deep ball like that. But right now they're just trying to generate a big play, and it's going to be tough to do.
Well, Dixon used to it, all-state cornerback. They said East Carolina, he will not play football there with the Pirates. It's a good school for him. McAndrew back out on the field. Great blocking.
See, that's just a little sprint option, right? Getting him out of the pocket, easy pass. That's a nice throw, falling backwards.
Yeah. Holbert is having himself a career night. I mean, he didn't have this good a year last season.
Yeah, and this is a little bit of different look. He's just a crossing pattern, rolling out McAndrew, and McAndrew getting the ball to Holbert. And we see him the big plays downfield, but shows he's a little versatile. He can make those catches across the field as well.
The read through the quarterbacks become so easy in this game because you go 3-by-1, 2-by-2. Now you know who's covering who. So if you can get protection, there's going to be guys open. There's going to be guys open, and right now the county's not generating enough pass rush.
Oh, let's see. Should be the last play of this third quarter. Quarter dominated by the city squad.
That was going to be a Redskin.
The Redskin. Does North Pocono run that play, Coach?
We tried to. Like the old Redskins, right? I don't know if we run it as well. A lot of teams call it counter.
Explain that to some of
Counter
our listeners,
gap.
because that was, we'll go back. That was the Hogs, right?
Yep.
And John
Absolutely.
Riggins,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
I mean,
sure.
the people who are our age don't remember that, but what is that play? Explain that to us.
First, Chris, the Hogs, and everybody was about 260 pounds, right? Not what you have now. That's a counter gap scheme where maybe it looks like you're going one way, and then you pull either, they had an H-back or a fullback, or you pull the guard and tackle from one side and bring him to the other. And you create a gap scheme, and then now they might be doing it again right now. You'll see the left guard and the back offset. I don't know if they're going to do it the way the back is set. We'll see what they do here.
Jason Koff from Holy Cross.
That's just a
the
little
fake.
Jet sweep
Little
fake.
jet. Little read option. McAndrew with that big offensive line gets a big push. Short of the first down, but we have a lead flag.
And the key to that play is a misdirection, right?
A little bit of misdirection. The back steps one way, and then you really get down blocks, and then you get two guys coming. You get big guys coming, kicking out, one coming up the hole. A very big staple of anybody's. If you have a good running game, you're going to run a counter gap or Redskin type of scheme.
Dead ball. Personal foul. Late hit on the defense. We're going to go 15 yards. First down.
Here's the part of the game, guys, you hate to see. Maybe a little frustration.
Right.
Maybe you know that your career's ending. Maybe you know you're getting beat. The coaches really got to corral the kids from the county and the city kids, too. They can't get too excited and play the game the right way.
There is a no tolerant policy from the Dream Game, too. So if I don't know who it was, but if you get it done again.
Yeah. Chris, we started a little while ago. You get a 15-yard penalty, you immediately come off the field.
Yep.
And that's it, because it gets to the point where you're going to get the kid hurt. You can't have that. Just can't have that.
And we'll pick that up in the fourth quarter. So the city pulls ahead, up by 22 now as we head to the fourth quarter.
You're watching a special presentation of Friday Night Rivals. It's the 84th Annual Lions Club Dream Game on MyTV WQMY.
Thank you to the Valley View cheerleaders. They're entertaining the crowd on the county side. The Wallenpaupack cheerleaders are on the city side. Of course, it goes by the coaches who are in this game. We are back live at John Henzis Veterans Memorial Stadium. We have Chris Kaharski and North Pocono head coach Greg Dolan in the booth with us. Emma Henzis is on the county sidelines. Paul Grippy is roaming the city sidelines. And Greg, the city really is just starting to, I don't want to say pour it on, pushing the county around a little bit.
Yeah, and I think some of the injuries had to play in that too, Bob, but they're really making some plays. Look, that's a great throw. Look at that throw. You know, unfortunately goes through his hands, but their quarterback's playing at a pretty good level, and their defensive line, Chris, has dominated the game recently.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and you know, you get a couple kids injured for the county.
Again, this was a 21-20 game at one point, and really the defensive line kind of took over for the city,
Yep.
and that's why still 20 on the county scoreboard.
Yeah, City scored right before the half, got the ball back, scored again. Next possession, scored again. The defense held. So, and that's the name of the game.
Yep. They talk about that a lot in college and pro football now, where you can score before the half, get the ball back, score again. Great momentum shift that really happens with that. That should be a legal substitution, kid running off the field.
Well, I think they've let some of that go tonight. Obviously, it's the All-Star game and miscommunication. You don't know where you're supposed to be. I mean, it's practice for a week, 10 days, whatever it is, right? You don't have all your kids there every practice.
And we really cut it down, right? I mean, it used to be a lot longer, and I think it's a good rule that put in, you know, for kids to get there, because kids are having a hard time getting there as it is. Now you cut it down, and a lot of other All-Star games are doing that, but you'll have some of those mishaps. And we were talking before, the biggest play of the game is probably down here with the quarterback getting hit right before half, and you know, that's a big decision there, because you could probably run that and punt it, and then you don't have another score, and the quarterback's still in the game.
Which should let viewers know Nick Riley from Delaware Valley is back on the sidelines. He's on crutches. And he's watching this game right from there. All day for McAndrew. Finally, the rush comes in. Maybe should have thrown it away. But it comes a sack for the county team.
I believe that was Nick DeAndrea, the Wolfforge, who was the first one there. But
yep, it was number 64. He would look at it again, Chris.
yeah, and again, they finally, I mean, again, it was good coverage downfield. That was the first part of this, but finally they get some pass rush in there, and McAndrew can't get away this time. But
yeah, Boyd there from Delaware Valley to wrap things up. So 4th down on the way for the city.
you mentioned Nick Riley on the sidelines. He's out for the game. Also, Sam Pitzman is back on the sidelines too, but he's wrapped up, looks like around the shoulder area. So unfortunately for both those players, they both are continuing their career in college. Hopefully that won't affect them going into this fall.
That looked like dislocated from the sideline. It looked like a dislocated shoulder.
Which is tough sometimes because that could be lingering.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, we mentioned Steve Martin before from Carbondale. Well, Emma tracked him down. No, he can't play, but I'm sure he's excited to be here, Emma.
I'm here with Steve Martin from Carbondale, and even though you aren't playing on the field, you're still wearing a jersey. What does that mean to you to be on the sidelines for the Dream Game?
It means a lot. I worked my butt off to get here, but just a simple injury happened at practice, and still a great honor to be on this field with them and play with different other people. It's a great honor still.
What's your role on this team?
I just try to do my best and help out the team and see what works.
Do you have plans for the fall?
Yes, I want to join the Army.
That's awesome. Well, good luck with that. Back to you, Bob.
Of course, he sounds like, you know, he wanted to play in this football game. I mean, that's what, kids look forward to this, don't they?
Yeah, very unfortunate to get those injuries. Of course they do. Maybe the last time they played in the area, you know, and then they love to get to practice. And, you know, it's part of the game, unfortunately. But a kid like him, going to the Army, has a great future ahead of him. But you watch a kid like that in the sidelines, you know he's hurting.
Going for it here on 4th down.
Well, why not? You're up 22 points with Cantor. Comp. And we have a flag.
Yeah, that was Holbert. Jumped a little anxious that time, but now let's see if they change. Coach Watson changes his mind here.
I don't think so.
What do you think, Bob?
4th and 17. Nah, he's going for it. On his side of the county side?
Yeah. You know what? But I would. I'm a little old school, maybe.
No, he's going to punt.
Whom I come from, right? But I think you got to punt here.
I think he just wants to bring his own guy in. He wants to bring Moldacker in from Wall Ballpark, get him some airtime. That's all it is.
You know, I mentioned before about that play in the goal line. You know, Kowalski knocked that ball in too on a punt like that. Maybe you pin him, you make a long field. I think you punt here in any game, all-star, regular game. You got to punt this ball away.
So Zach Baldacker in.
Oh boy.
So who touched it in the end zone? And we're going to get a City touchdown. Boy, we'll have to look at that again, but I suspect it was Zipatelli in the end zone for Riverside. Touched the ball, and it was recovered.
Actually, it was Secor.
Was Secor? Oh, it is, yes.
Number 7?
7, yep.
Yeah.
It is 7.
You shouldn't even be near the ball. You should have your heels at the 10-yard line.
Yeah.
You know, we teach that, and maybe an all-star game you get a little excited to return the ball, but he should be nowhere near that ball. That should have been a touchback. Just a young kid trying to make a play in an all-star game, but you know, that mistake is a big one.
Unfortunately, for the county now, that puts them even a deeper hole. It was going to be tough to climb out of the one they were in. And I was right. I said a kickoff return for a touchdown. We did get a special teams touchdown.
You did. You were right.
He's touching that ball at the goal line.
Yeah, you're right, Greg. And it drives me nuts because you see it in the NFL these days, too. These guys fair catching punts to 5. I mean, you know, those guys are professionals. They're getting paid. These are high school kids. You know, and it seems like some of the common sense in football has gone out the window sometimes.
Kids who make mistakes, you can see he's trying to make a play.
Well, Paul has another guest on the City sideline. Who do you have, Paul?
All right, well, the man who just scored that touchdown for the City team, that's Jazan Jett. Well, what happened down there? That looked like they were going to down it or something, and it ends up in your hands.
Yeah, I think he just muffed the play, and I was there to cover in the end zone.
Yeah. What's scoring a touchdown feel like? It doesn't happen all the time, right?
Yeah, that actually was my first one, my first high school career.
So your entire high school career, you never scored a touchdown, and you come to the All-Star game, wrapping up your career, and you finally get that touchdown.
Yeah.
Is that why everyone's been so happy around here?
Yeah.
I mean, you got a lot of taps in the head after that. You get a little headache after
I'm good, I'm good.
Congratulations.
I'm ready to
Look
play.
at all these guys around you smiling happy for you, all right?
Yeah.
All right, you got a couple of more of those tonight?
Whatever happens.
All right. Looks like you're having fun. Would that be right?
Yep.
All right, Jazan Jett for City just scored a touchdown. There you go, Bob.
And there you go. Now that's a way to end your high school career. I scored a touchdown in the dream game.
Yeah, that's special. I mean, listen, we've been there playing high school football, Greg, and scoring a touchdown is a pretty cool thing. And when you don't score one, you're disappointed your whole career. I didn't score a touchdown. You know, he probably thought he was never going to score a touchdown. He gets one.
And he scores one tonight on a really different type of play. So that's really great for that young kid to get a touch on a dream game.
Okay, Chris, well, you got another opportunity. Maybe they score. Seth Fernand's going to get it from about his 11. He gets a block and gets wrapped up.
I'll give the City credit, though. I tell you what, their coverage on special teams has been really good.
And making the tackle?
Yeah, against
Baldacker.
two exciting players, too.
Yeah, 2 returners that can go the distance anytime. And that's what happens when you have good football players. You know, they're fundamentally sound tackling. You know, a lot of these kids, close to, being their best defensive players on their team. So they're used to being around the ball.
And, I think it comes down to maturity, too. In high school football, sometimes when you see the long returns, it's usually a sophomore or a junior that's on those special teams.
Right.
Maybe goes inside when they shouldn't. So when you get a lot of seniors, obviously these kids are seniors, I think you shouldn't have those type of plays.
So let's see if the county has something in them.
See that
down big.
That play there is a difference in the first half. They're turning it back inside. The whole first half, the county was running outside. Now the City's gotten their ends up the field a little bit and defended that play much better.
Barnes headed to Wilkes. Played some football. First team all division from Honesdale. He's carried the ball a couple times tonight. We don't get to see a lot of those Walpole Packs at Honesdale, Chris, some of those teams on what we call the fringes. So it's nice to see them here in the All-Star game.
Yeah, there were some good players in those two programs. Western Wayne up in Wayne County. Of course, DV gets a lot of the attention being a big school and the success they've had.
Talarico can't get it out to Smith.
Fellas, if you look at the players coming in our area in college, Walpole Pack has a lot of players in college football.
Yeah.
They have a lot of good players. Honesdale had great running backs this year. Randy Wolf is doing an excellent job at Western Wayne. There's a lot of good football players in those 3 teams. they can't control their pass rush right now, Chris and Bob. If they try to throw the ball, Jeremiah Acker from North Pocono, he's done a great job rushing the passer. The young man from Scranton has done a great job. Obviously, the kid from Dunmore Shoemaker, they cannot control their pass rush. This 3rd and long is going to be quite tough.
And nothing, yeah, that's the offensive line. But Nick Riley going down is a big loss. I mean, for Delaware Valley, he was throwing the ball around.
You even saw Nick 3 or 4 times step up into the pocket with his size at 6'3". He can do that. He can see the field a little bit better.
You look at right there. I mean, that's great defense by the corner, but your quarterback just took another big hit.
Yeah, hopefully he's okay. Jordan Tallarico, again, not the biggest kid on the field. But you're right, he didn't step up. No, and he just kind of stood in there and took it. Yeah. But he got crunched from both sides. Watch this.
Yeah, the guard tried to cut Shoemaker, which, by the way, is something that we should get out of high school football, trying to cut people at the line of scrimmage, get kids hurt. And they didn't do it, and then they didn't block the ends again. They know right now, at this point right now, I think you got to get your quarterback off the field and not get him hurt.
That's pretty good coverage by Jet. We just talked to him on the sideline, put his helmet back on, came back on the field, covering Secor right there. So now the county forced to punt again, missing a player, so we'll give him time.
City will do a good job here to get the punt, secure the punt, run the ball a couple times, have this game controlled, I think, and run a little bit of clock.
Yeah, you see the fair catch there. And, the City knows they have this one in hand at this point, so get maybe some of the kids who haven't played as much into the game as well. Can't really change your quarterback, I guess. I mean, I guess they could put Gillette back there if they feel like it.
Chris, maybe be a little more conservative in your play calling, I think, right now. Again, you guys can throw the ball on 3rd down, but you've thrown the ball an awful lot and done a lot of different things. I think this is a good situation to run the ball, maybe get a couple first downs, run the clock, and see what happens. And they have the game well in hand. You see those prep helmets at the line of scrimmage. That tell you they do a great job. They're well coached, and they do a great job up front. They're doing a good job protecting and running the football.
Well, that means they have to replace them, though. I'm sure they'll find some players there. They'll return the quarterback. Leo Boyle. Secor in there, making a tackle on Gillette.
They strung the play out well. They did a decent job against the run. But the quarterback makes plays in 2nd and 3rd downs.
So it is 2nd down on the way. Loss of a couple yards.
I think the biggest plays for the City in the running game is by McAndrew.
Yeah.
He was their leading rusher at halftime.
Yeah.
He had that one big run that led to one of his touchdowns tonight.
The rules of the game really set it up for a big passing game. Not really for the running game. You don't have a lot of timing to get the running game going a little bit in practice.
You can see McAndrew letting the play clock run down now.
Looks like they're missing a person too, fellas. I think they might not have enough guys on the line of scrimmage, but I think it looked like they're missing a tight end.
Well, I think they just threw a bone to the fullback, number 44. We didn't talk about him at all. Aiden Muldacker. His brother's kicking tonight.
Right.
They're twin brothers. Yeah. Muldacker played in the East-West game with Coach Watson, so that was a big honor for him.
They're loaded coming back, fellas. Well,
Paul Peck
has a lot of kids coming back. They have some good players.
Legal formation on the offense. Refused, result of the play, 3rd down.
So there's some rules of the game for this specific game. But back to the Wallenpaul Pack guys. Aiden's going to go to East Stroudsburg, play football. Well, Zach, though, he's going to head elsewhere. So they'll break up the Twins a little bit.
They have a lot of size back there. They're going to be a good football team.
It'll be a good opener here at Valley View, defending district champion against a solid Wallenpaul Pack team.
Yep. And Valley View has everybody back from tight end to tight end. If they put 2 tight ends out, from all 7 guys are back. So Valley View has great players up front. There'll be another great football team at Valley View this year.
I think we got things squared away on the field.
They have an outset back here. You might see that Redskin that we were talking about before, Chris. I don't know if they would do that now.
County has pitched a shutout. County's gave up a bunch of touchdowns, I should say, in the second half to the City. City's not let County back into the end zone. So some adjustments at halftime.
Stankiewicz getting in there from Mid-Valley on that play. He had a really impactful first quarter.
He did.
When the County defense was playing a little bit better, but that's going to force the punt team out once again for Coach Watson.
So that will bring out the other Muldacker, Zach, who's kicked a bunch of extra points tonight and has also punted a few times.
Just out big played them, right?
Yeah.
Just made bigger plays,
Yep.
from a certain point of the game on, and that really is going to tell the score tonight. But the offensive line is getting beat up a little bit by the pass rush.
Well, the County, I mean, they came out, coach, and they pushed City around in that first quarter.
They really did.
They did.
You looked at the beginning of the game, you'd
Yeah.
say, wow, the way this game looks.
Yep.
You wouldn't believe this score if you came back and
No.
looked at the score. You wouldn't believe what happened here.
We'll let the ball bounce. And the County will take over at the 44-yard line. So 5:41, and we're looking ahead 5-6 weeks now, Chris, to the opener in August. And that means our Fox 56 sports crew and MyNet TV, my TV should say, is ready to hit the ground running. Our opener, how about we go to Dunmore and have two district champs go head-to-head, as we'll have Prep and Dunmore August 24th. All these games, of course, at 7 p.m. We'll head out to Loyalsock. They have three very good players, including their quarterback, who's going to head to a Division I school. Danville's loaded again. They have a lot of guys back. Hazleton, Dallas. I'm intrigued by that game. Hazleton's on the way up. Dallas had a lot of young kids the last couple of years.
Ooh. Once again, quarterback running just to not to get sacked back there again.
And now the flags
Yeah,
are
now
coming.
the flags are starting to throw. So let's go to the Hazleton-Dallas game. What do you see from those two teams?
Dallas is you're right, Bob. They were young. Their sophomore class last year is very talented. So they've matured. They got playing time. I think that they're going to surprise some people this year. I think they're a year away from being maybe one of the favorites in 4A. Mike Brennan at Hazleton, he won state championships, so he knows how to build a winner. He's in a tough situation. Hazleton's always tough because getting the kids to commit and but he's got them moving the right way, and he's got some real good players coming back, including his all-state quarterback Sparky Walk. So that's going to be a good game.
Well, we talk of the brothers, the Muldacker brothers, and they're standing by with Paul on the City sideline. Paul.
All right, Bob, I'm splitting between the twins here. Aiden and Zach, the Muldackers from Wallenpaupack. Let's talk to Zach first here. First of all, how did you find out you were going to be in this dream game? Was it Coach Watson who broke the news?
Yeah, my head coach told me, so it's pretty cool.
And he come over to the house and bring you a cake, or did he just call you on the phone? How'd it go? A text?
He sent me a quick text.
All right, let's just be careful here. That was coming this way. I get a little scared, but tell me the moment when Coach broke the news to you.
I was pretty excited. It's going to be my last football game in high school, so it was one last good opportunity to play, and I'm pretty hyped about it.
Yeah, and you're playing for your head coach. Did that make learning the playbook kind of easy?
Well, I don't need to learn anything because I'm the kicker, but everything was pretty normal. Didn't have to switch up on anything, so.
And you got to play with your twin brother over
Yeah, I
here
did.
too, so that's a nice way to end your career, I would imagine.
is, yeah.
Mom and Dad are probably pretty happy, right?
Yes, they are.
Okay, well, speaking of twin brother, Aiden Muldacker, he will actually be playing at East Stroudsburg football for Denny Dowds in the future. How did you come to the decision to go to East Stroudsburg?
Well, it was my best choice financially, and I really love the program in the area. I like to stay around Wallenpaupack, so it was an easy choice.
Following in the footsteps of our cameraman Gumbel, who went from Wallenpaupack to East Stroudsburg. You also played in the East-West All-Star game. Coach Watson involved with that. Compare this All-Star to that All-Star game and the experiences.
This one's a more, I wouldn't say laid back, but you're more familiar with people, so it's a little easier to get acclimated, but it's not really else different. It's just football.
We're splitting up the Muldacker twins now, right? You guys won't be going to college together. How's that going to be?
It's a little weird because I've been with them my entire life, but I think we'll get used to it.
You guys probably met at an early age, I would imagine. Okay, so Bob, Zach, and Aiden Muldacker doing a good job here for the City team, comfortably ahead in the fourth quarter, and this will be the end of Zach's football career, but Aiden will continue at East Stroudsburg.
Yeah, I know talking to them, Paul, they were very excited about playing one last time. Speaking of excitement, this guy's always excited. 56, Jones, Jake Jones from Scranton High School. Boy, that kid's got a motor.
practice and the game. He's done a great job getting some pass rush. I think his father went to Temple. Okay. I think so. I think you inherit some of those genes, but they're not blocking them, right? The play before, the Shoemaker went right through. Who's a relentless football player, the Shoemaker kid. They're just not blocking him. So this the quarterback game's not getting into quick enough for the county quarterbacks right now.
Well, one thing we don't want to see, Coach, if people get hurt again. Not with 5 minutes left in this game.
Yeah, you want to see everybody stay healthy from this point on. Let's not have drop any flags, any penalties. The kids are better than that, and I think the coaches have to take a step and just take a kid off the field and teach them that that's not what we want to do at this point of the game, or at any point of any game. Still playing very hard. Still playing very hard against the run, the county. That's good come off by the city. You look at it from the side, but they're playing very hard against the run.
Martin tripped up from Scranton Prep. Looked like DeAndre in there again. And also Stankiewicz, we called his name a lot from Mid-Valley.
Might be what George is telling his kids right now, Bob. Keep our heads.
So the new look Lackawanna Football Conference, they split Division III in half. I think that was a good choice. A lot of teams, they were playing 10 games. Now they're going to be able to play some teams from Willamette Valley Conference. And there you have Dunmore, Lakeland, Carbondale, Mid-Valley, and Riverside.
Yeah, they were locked into a 10-team division, which means you played 9 league games and 1 non-conference game. And because there's some disparity with some of the lower-end programs that have struggled, they were forced to play some of the higher-end programs, and the games just weren't fair from a competitive standpoint. So this way allows you to play a better non-conference schedule, but you're still playing some of your traditional rivals in the same size. That was the best move I think the Lackawanna League made this year.
Yeah, we'll look at Division 4 in a minute. The new Division 4. Reese Green, surrounded by red jerseys. Good tackle in there on the county side. And there is Division 4. So Lackawanna Trail, Old Forge, probably the favorites in that one already. I mean, they met in the final last year of the District 1A championship.
Yeah, I can see this is the smaller schools too, and a lot of the suburban area schools. Again, it's just a little more balanced. Old Forge, the Class F division, but Trail always gives them issues. And Steve Jervis won a district title there as well. So
Steve does a tremendous job with a number of kids running the wing T, and Old Forge always been very physical. So those two seem to be fighting for that division title.
McAndrew tucks it down, but someone's got a hold of his jersey.
Is that Celia?
Yeah, I think that was.
Celia. Yeah, and again, they're still hitting out there. Now they're trying to make their presence felt. Hey, as long as it's clean, it's still football. That's fine.
That Larson.
Absolutely.
Andrew Larson from Carbondale.
He had
72.
He had a really good career for the Chargers. They had some big wins over the last couple of years, and he was their anchor on the offensive line.
Is that the last Larson there? There was a bunch that have come through Carbondale.
Yeah, it might be.
He's going to head to Moravian, play football. Big fan of the New York Giants is Andrew Larson. So Muldacker on again to punt this one away.
Have to give the county credit. Their kids are really playing hard. And obviously with obvious defeat coming, playing hard and enjoying maybe their last high school football game. But once again, we don't want to see anything get silly.
Fair catch called by the county team, by James Secor, and the county offense back on. 2:33 remaining. Probably see hopefully a couple running plays here. Just get out unscathed. Mark Watson's going to be 2-0 against George Hwanitz, though, in this dream game. You know, that might come up at media day.
Maybe.
But he's done a nice job up there. 12th, I think we said 12th season.
Does a great job. Does a great job in the weight room with his
13th.
kids.
Yep, yeah. 13th season.
Great job. They're very long, very physical. They play very physical defense. You know, 2018, Chris, this is probably not going to be runs. This is probably going to be some passes.
No.
You know, Bob, you don't know.
No,
you know, people
true.
spread it out. But this formation seems to be a, you know, 21 formation. You'll see a handoff maybe here.
It's Tallarico from Carbondale under the center. Gives it to Valley View's Vernon, who makes some good moves. Acker in there from North Pocono. We'll talk about him in a second. But Emma Henzis has some county folks on the sidelines. Emma?
I'm with Tyler McGee from Del Val, and you guys have 3 district champs, but how does the Dream Game stack up to that?
You know, district champs, that's the top of the notch. Obviously, the Dream Game is very impressive. It takes a lot. You have to be a great player to get into this game. But district champs, you know, you're playing with guys that you've been playing with since you're a little kid. And, you know, Coach O's a great guy, and he's really had us come along. So I'm really happy that we have 3 district champs over this Dream Game.
Now, for some guys, it's their last game, but for you, you're moving on. Where are you going next year?
I'm going to be playing safety at Muhlenberg College. I'm very excited. You know, having the opportunity to play 4 more years is just amazing. I've dreamt it since I was a little kid, so I'm just very excited for the fall.
Good luck in the fall. Thank you. Back to you, Bob.
Well, we do have a Delaware Valley player on the ground. I didn't see a number.
Secor.
It is Secor, number 7.
He's okay. It's
yeah.
good to see.
Shaken up. So we've had several county players go down during this game. And hopefully they're okay heading into some colleges. And let's see how it happened. Tip to the line of scrimmage. He's taken down on that shoulder or leg or something.
Well, it looks like his leg got
bent out. Yep.
So, but hopefully he's okay.
So we're under 2 minutes to play here in this game. Give a lot of credit to the city defense. They've held county scoreless this half, Chris. And I think they held the ball, I think, more too. Possession time.
And the 1 touchdown in the first half was an interception return, right?
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
So they've held the 2 touchdowns. Would look like in the beginning of the game that, wow, you know, they're going to be hard for the city to stop. The game, not to be repetitive, but it was that pass rush that I think has wore them out. Going with the kids up front just dominating.
Well, we saw him make a play before, and we saw him in a couple games here on My TV, Coach, and that's Jeremiah Acker from you, number 2. Talk to me about what he's meant to your program.
Yeah, great kid. You know, he came from Kansas City, moved into the area. Mother chose a great high school, we believe, of course. And Jeremiah's done a great job as a pass rusher, as a running back for us. You know, his junior year, when our defense, I thought, was a pretty good defense. We got a lot of pass rush from him and J.C. Gahn. And those 2 kids were running backs the following year. Jeremiah's got great energy and really was a great team player, playing defensive end. Not a big kid, really, but great explosion. He's going to play at Wilkes at running back, and I think he has a great future. Yeah, he'll play at Wilkes at running back, and I think he gets into the weight room. I think he's going to be a heck of a player. You can see right there, chases the ball down as a relentless player. And I have had him in class, just a wonderful kid. We're really going to miss him in the program.
And Chris, for you, he's a Steeler fan, so you should be happy about that.
Greg's a Steeler fan too, so you're outnumbered in this booth, buddy.
Yes,
well,
sir.
We have the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I know you have 6, so I don't want to hear it.
I'm just going to say that's the
I know your comeback.
Yeah,
what I tell you is my son's 12. They haven't won it yet. So he doesn't know the difference.
Yeah, you're right. Listen, very happy for the Eagle fans, but let's not get excited in Pennsylvania, right? The professional football team is in the western part of the country, or state, I should say. So let's not get too excited, Eagle fans.
Okay, that's going to run out the clock here on the 84th Annual Lions Club Dream Game. The final score will read City 49, the County 20. And really the City put it on into the second half, put up some big scores, and we'll get to our players of the game as soon as they go through the line. And we're going to try to get Robbie McAndrew, quarterback, who's probably going to need some ice on his arm, Chris. And he had a heck of a game for his last high school game ever.
Yeah, I mean, Robbie was the star tonight in many different ways. made plays with his legs, whether it was in the passing game or the running game. And again, he had to go the distance tonight. He played every snap from behind center or in the shotgun formation, and he did a great job, and couldn't be happier for the kid. He had, again, a great career at Scranton High School, was part of a lot of good teams, and hats off to Robbie tonight.
And as you guys mentioned, they didn't protect them either, right? They ran plays that
Yeah.
he get, so he did a great job for them. You know what you say when you get a win, the last game of your career is pretty nice. You know, if you never suited up again, to say you went out a winner is a nice thing for high school kids.
The other guy who had I don't want to say career night was from Wallenpaupack, and that was Ty Holbert. He had 4 touchdowns, Coach, last season.
Yeah.
He had 2 tonight.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's pretty good.
Yeah, you know, he could run, probably matured over the year as a senior in high school. And then again, with the rules of the game, he's getting man coverage.
Yep.
And he's running double moves. He's running skinny posts and corners. So good for him. What a great night for him. Made a great play. Great plays all night.
Well, speak of the devil, he's with Paul.
Okay, Bob, I have Ty Holbert here, wide receiver for the city team, the victorious city team. You scored a touchdown early in this game. You guys were really able to open it up on offense especially and shut them down on defense. How was the second half a little bit different for you guys?
I mean, we kind of stayed with our game plan, make big plays. You know, we have a great quarterback, great line. I mean, it's best against the best. You know.
Yeah, what was it like playing with Robbie McAndrew? He really lit it up well tonight.
Yeah, I mean, what can I say? He's he's the best for a reason. He's on this team for a reason. Yeah. He's the best in the league, and he showed it.
All right, other than a win, what kind of feeling do you take away from this dream game experience?
It's the last high school football game I get. I mean, it's a special feeling, honestly.
All right, congratulations on a good game and a win. That's Ty Holbert from the city team. And let's pull in the quarterback, throwing him the balls tonight. This is Robbie McAndrew, another player of the game tonight. Well, first of all, it was tight at halftime. Second half, you guys really did execute very well. How was the second half offense flowing a little bit better for you?
Oh, we were getting used to it. All the butterflies were out. We all started connecting better. Seeing my guys down deep, Ty Holbert, Reese, Nate Fangio, all of them. They all got open. I threw the ball and they were open.
And you got 4 quarters in, good thing. You were the only quarterback that the city had. But what about your receivers? In practice, how did you get used to them? What did you see? What did they give you tonight?
Oh, they're all big, quick guys. The biggest thing was probably getting the timing down. Once I got that down, it just clicked, and we just went out from there. It was just great.
All right, so you got the win. I'm sure that feels good for you. But into the high school football career, what kind of memories do you take from this dream game experience?
Oh, memories will last a lifetime. So many good athletes came through here, from especially Scranton High, and then to get to play with all these guys from different schools is just great.
All right, thanks a lot, Robbie. Congratulations on a great game. Player of the game, Robbie McAndrew from Scranton High. He's the city quarterback, Bob, and they get away with the win tonight.
That they do. So we are set. Our crew is ready, and we'll be all ready to go Friday, August 24th, when we have our first Friday Night Rivals game as Scranton Prep takes on Dunmore live at 7 p.m. So for the entire crew has done a great job here tonight, and all of our announcers, Emma Henzis, Paul Grippy, Greg Dolan, Chris Kaharski, and the Man of the Year, Stan Kaharski. This is Bob Eyes saying so long.
You're watching a special presentation of Friday Night Rivals. It's the 84th Annual Lions Club Dream Game on MyTV WQMY.